Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Man like Fabrizio Romano has confirmed total agreement between the player, Donny van der Beek, of course, and Manchester United. We'll go through everything else, but it says after new contact I can also, in the last few hours with his agent, Man United will reach a total agreement on the personal terms with Donny van der Beek. The Dutch midfielder has accepted to join Manchester United until June 2025, followed by his tweet saying Man United are now in talks to finalise a deal with Ajax to sign the player immediately after the first official bid to be submitted tonight. So tonight, Man United have put in the first official bid in. United are confident to complete the deal at the start of next week. Do you know what's mad? I need to say this. I need to say this right now, and I'm sorry. I can't reveal the DM, but Fabrizio Romano tweeted this at 7:31. Okay? I swear to you, on the life of my children, on the life of my children, at 7:27 p.m., the In The Know Premier League account direct messaged me saying, just been told it's done. Bid incoming tonight. Player full agreement. I'll be tweeting out about it around 8 o'clock. I messaged back saying amazing news. 5 minutes later, Fabrizio tweets, this guy cannot be guessing. He cannot be guessing this news and getting it this right, this accurate in such a small space of time. It's impossible. I am gassed. I know you're all gassed as well. This In The Know Premier League guy has got this deal bang on even before man like Fabrizio. I have to give the guy credit. I've said before, I don't know who he is. I don't know where he lives. I don't know where he's from. I don't know how this is even happening. I have no idea. But the frequency, quality, and accuracy of his transfer and contract negotiation knowledge is a madness. But let's just reiterate this again. Smash the like button first of all. Donny van der Beek is going to be a Manchester United player. Full agreement now in place with Manchester United. That is done. That is dusted. That is over the line. Man United launching their official bid tonight. They've had the conversation with Ajax. It's going to be £40 million, I believe. I want to make sure I just get that right. Yes, £40 million that will be, 40 million euros. Even cheaper. Lovely jubbly. That is going in tonight. He is going to be a Manchester United player. Get yourselves excited. By the way, everyone's saying the In The Know account's me. Listen, if I could guess, even guess the accuracy of In The Know, I'd be saying it was me. I'd say I would finesse it, bruv. It isn't me. I don't know who this person is. I have got direct contact with him. He has been confirming these deals like a madman. Super chat here says United are doing a deal in 48 hours is what I'm seeing. That's when things will be finalized. But Donny van der Beek is going to be a Manchester United player. It is done. It is over the line. It's real. This is genuinely real. It's real. This is completely and utterly real. I don't think it can be denied. And people want to, but it's there. This is coming from too many credible sources at one time. By the way, we have to do this. Hashtag who is in the know. We need to know who this guy is. Reveal yourself, bro, because you've got skills. And I mean this as a compliment in both directions. You are either so well informed, you deserve a verification tick, you deserve money, you deserve fame, you deserve fortune if you're that well informed. If at the other end of the scale, you're guessing this and you're making it up, you still deserve credit. I want lottery numbers. I want predictions for the future because you, my friend, are amazing. I have to say this. Either way, you're amazing. Please reveal yourself to all of us. We want to know who you are. Will Fear of a Super Chat says, at In The Know is now pushing Fabrizio for the Ballon d'Or Tier 1. Listen, I love Fabrizio. This kid, he might even be a kid. He could be like a 55-year-old man. I've got no idea of the age. It's phenomenal work. It really, really is. Someone here says, on Twitter says, why are you that excited about Van der Beek? Isn't it just a bit better than Fred? Now, Donny van der Beek's a baller, bruv. I'm very excited about this individual. I think he takes Man United to the complete and utter next level. I really, really do. So I'm excited about it. There's no element of it that I am worried about, scared about, confused about, upset about. And just so you know, I'm not giving anyone any BS. I'll share this with you on the screens because we can do that actually here. Let me share my screen with you. Let me just remove that tweet. Let me share this screen with you. I tweeted at 7:30, exactly 7:30, and I'm going to highlight the tweet here. If you here's my tweet, let me focus in a little bit closer here on here, right? So I tweeted at 7:30, as you can see here. Oh my God, just been told it's confirmed, right? And as I said, go check what time Fabrizio's tweet came out. Fabrizio's tweet came out a little bit later, right? And I'm not saying that Fabrizio's the man. I was told it before he tweeted out. It's crazy. It's crazy. I ain't making this stuff up. I'm hyperventilating. I'm so happy. It's unbelievable. We're going to open the lines for other people to come in and call up in a few moments. But let's do some more of your live comments. Terry, I just watched another fan channel. Bayern fans wound up that Van der Beek is going to United. Van der Beek's quality. Van der Beek is quality. Any news on Sancho? Yes, the gentleman over at the Beautiful Game podcast, they had Christian Fawkes on earlier today, and he's confirmed what most other journalists have been saying for a long, long time now. He still wants to come to Man United. Man United still want him. It's about putting that bid in. There are some people, and this is where the In the Know account guy is interesting. He believes that Man United and Bayern Munich, Dortmund, have come to an agreement in terms of price and structure. It's delayed now until Dortmund find that replacement. What will be really interesting to see in the next 3 or 4 days, if Dortmund suddenly find a replacement, how quickly that accelerates. All eyes on In the Know's account on that one there. Do me a big favor, though. Please smash that like button for us. It's so important to the channel and the platform that we get that done. I'm going to share the link in a few moments so you guys can call up so you can come and get involved. Some of the regulars, I didn't even send the link out. I didn't have enough time to reach out to people, and I'll do that now. If you want to come on the show, though, have your say, etc., we're live now. Want to hear from you all. Want to know what you're thinking, feeling, saying, etc. In relation to this deal. Someone here says shock. Oh, okay. I love reading. Do you know I love reading people's tweets? I love what people have got to say on this stuff. English teams on fire. If City sign Messi, you'll know it's the best league in the world. Listen, man, I already think the Premier League was the best league in the world. This just kind of cements it further in so many ways. Comment here says United have held talks this weekend with Bayern over Thiago. They still feel he is set for Liverpool, but have made it clear they won't pay the 30 million euros. If Thiago would join them, Liverpool are still trying. Look, Liverpool are still the front runners for that deal, but they need to be careful. There'll come a point where maybe, just maybe, Thiago will look elsewhere. In relation to that, here's this total gas. I am gas, bro. I can't even deny this. I am excited. I am over the moon. I'm just genuinely hoping that we can get this deal done as soon as possible and move things forward in relation to that. But this, as I say before, let's see what happens to an extent. But we can go from there. If you want to join the stream, I'm going to post a link in the comment section for the StreamYard link, so you guys can come on and have your say, get yourselves involved. We want to hear from you because this news is big. Comment here from Twitter says, great work going here, mate. Great work going on here, mate. Listen, I'm just a YouTuber, bro. I'm just a football fan. You know, I say this to a lot of people. I don't have any real inside connections. You know, I have a few friends that work in football finance who occasionally tell me bits and pieces. The Sancho deal was one back in December. I occasionally hear little murmurings. That's about it. I report on what I see on social media. I report on what I read in the papers, and we create a platform for fans to come and engage on. Essentially, we are a visual video-based miniature version of Twitter, where you can read an opinion or an article on Twitter, and then you can talk about it. You know, it's very much the same thing. There's no doubts. That's it. That's it. But listen, I appreciate you shouting out. Samuel's now joined us. Samuel's an Arsenal fan. Donny van der Beek to Man United. It's happening in the next couple of days. What you saying, bro?
Listen, Arsenal, get your act together now and spend, because if you look at the past couple of days, we were looking at it as if United don't spend as the way it is, we could leap them over top four. But now with the Van der Beek thing is switched completely, and we have to get our act together because Chelsea now have bought an attacking midfielder. You're gonna buy one Van der Beek, and we have to get the funds for Uwa quickly. So selling Torreira and Guendouzi as fast as possible to make Uwa possible.
It's interesting. It's suddenly Man United make a signing, and Arsenal fans go from being gassed about their business, and we're going to leapfrog Man United to we've got to put our finger out. And I think that's what one of the very reasons I love the transfer market as its own kind of economy outside of general football is the fact that one signing by Man United changes the mood of 3, 4, 5 clubs. The butterfly effect that has down football. I love it. I absolutely adore it. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, I get where you're coming from. Listen, I don't. If Man United and Chelsea land all their signings, and Chelsea pretty much have done, I don't think there's anything Arsenal can do in the short term, and I'm talking the next year to 18 months, to catch up with those teams. You've just got to stay in your lane and your progression. What you shouldn't do is rush and buy someone that you're not quite sure about yet. Go for a third or fourth choice option just to appease fans. What Arsenal need to do is stay in their lane, keep working hard, keep doing what they are doing, and they will eventually sort of come good in relation to that race. But it's certainly an interesting time. There's no doubts about that whatsoever in relation to.
Also, the Europa League, I think this has become more important for us now because the top 4 is as hard as it's ever been since the early 2010s when Liverpool were at their peak, Arsenal were decent, and Chelsea and United were always battling it out. I mean, it's far more difficult than it was now. So we have to have a certain balance of the Europa League and the Premier League.
Yeah, you do. But then this is the thing, right? What normally happens in the season that Man United won the Europa League under Jose, we started off by playing a weakened team to get ourselves through, qualify through the groups, which Arsenal won't have a problem with this year. And as we got to the knockout stages and we realized that qualification via the Premier League was going to be a very tough ask because we hadn't had a great season, we kind of put our eggs into that Europa League basket. And that's very much what Arsenal can do. If come February, you're third and you're 10 points clear of going into 5th place, I think you won't take the Europa League as seriously as others. If you're sitting 6th and you're 20 points away from the top 4, you're going to go full out in the Europa League as an example. And I think that's the best way to play it from this point and this moment. Because you'll get through your group. They're not going to be teams against you in the group stages of the Europa League that are going to have the ability to do too much damage. In my very humble opinion. But
also, the thing is, having a good league performance, say we're in like a point behind top 4, it takes less pressure off the Europa League. So, because if we're 20 points, there'll be more pressure on us to perform in the Europa League than. Because if, say, we were 4th, say, okay, it's not that difficult, we could still potentially, there's 2 ways we could get in. But if we're 20 points behind and said, okay, this is the only way, it's Europa League or bust.
Yeah, I get that. And that's why with a lot of these things, it just comes down to people relaxing and people just staying calm in relation to that. But Samuel, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having to say we'll chat to you again soon. Everybody that's tuning in at home or wherever you are around the world, please hit that like button for us. Fabrizio has confirmed. The In The Know Premier League account has confirmed it. Total agreement in relation to personal terms. The first official bid, and probably the only official bid, is coming in this evening for 40 million euros. Donny van der Beek completely and utterly wants to join Manchester United. This is real. This is moving forward. There's a comment the other day that said, a few moments ago that said, Terry, but you said that Sancho was confirmed. The difference here is I said that I believe Jadon Sancho to Man United will happen. And I stand by that. I do believe that deal will happen. The level of certainty that I feel in terms of my opinion has changed. Did I read? And was I told by particular journalists that the deal was almost done or the deal was complete, that they were just discussing contract levels and clauses? Yes, I was. But remember, no journalist, whether you're Fabrizio Romano or whether you're sort of sitting on a desk doing digital news for one of the kind of tabloid newspapers, you're not in control of what the clubs decide. If at the 11th hour, if the 11th hour Chelsea pull out of the Kai Havertz deal, that isn't down to Fabrizio Romano. So I'm only reporting on what's being said. And if something now changes between Man United and Ajax, that's not on the journalists that have said that. It's not on us as a channel for putting out the news. That's as simple as that. I'm not sitting here claiming to, I haven't had a chat with Edwin van der Sar and he's gone, listen, mate, it's going to happen. That isn't what we're claiming. So I hear the criticism, and that's my response to the feedback. So we're here. We're a fan community for you to come and have your say around the relative news that is going on. There's a comment here from Monstar who says, you lot are about to go mental with this one, aren't you? That's from Monstar who tweeted that out. Absolutely. I want to get these man on. I've shared the link with them. I've just shared. These guys have got to get themselves on here. I want to hear from these boys. We've got another gentleman here. Rash Patel is with us. Rash, how you doing, young man?
Hi.
How you doing? What do you want to, what's your views on the Van der Beek to Man United situation?
I'm just happy that we got him done. So now I want Sancho to get done.
Me too, bro. How good do you think Van der Beek will be for Man United in the Premier League?
I think him and Pogba, I think they'll switch around a lot. Like I say, if Pogba gets tired, Van der Beek will come on. And like before with Pereira, like it used to be a massive drop. Now it will be like kind of similar.
Mate, I do agree with you. I think it sends the fear. You saw Samuel, the Arsenal fan, come on and have that sort of approach of, I'm worried now. I'm worried as an Arsenal fan. It's as simple as that. But young man, listen, I appreciate you coming on, having your say. Big yourself up. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and bank holiday, my boy. Thank you. The guy's in. We're going to do a full intro for this. My guy, or as some people recently referred to him as my bitch, is now joining us. Let's get Elite KJ on. Yes, my bro.
You know what it is? Wakanda forever.
Absolutely, my man.
Now and always, fam. I don't care, bro.
Fabrizio has this deal's confirmed, bruv. We haven't quite got a here we go, but it's there. It's there, man. This is real. Last night this started, and it's in the space of 24 hours. We there.
People, War Machine inbound, baby. Let's go. The War Machine is coming, and for everyone who's even myself said United can't do quick deals. We are so slow. We're terrible. This might be the start of something new. I'm not going to go and be like, oh, yeah, Ed Woodward and United are the guys that transfers now, because it's only one. But if we get this over the line in the next couple of days, next week, yeah, that's a foot in the right direction in terms of actually we are being serious. We may have been waiting, but we don't know what kind of plan that they had for the waiting. And we might see the fruits of this patient approach.
Do you know, I was only live a couple of hours ago. I was sitting down, I was watching Adam's Family. I'm going for a bit of an 80s, 90s movie kick at the minute. I've got like E.T. to watch again and Adam's Family. All these films I watched as a kid. I'm like, I just fancy a bit of sitting down. I was chilling. And then I have shared this already, but I got the message from the In The Know account. He said that the deal was agreed. There's going to be some information coming out really soon. I then reached out to a journalist I know who remained nameless and said, have you heard this? He went, yep, I can confirm. I've been told the same. And then Fabrizio tweets, and I'm like, and before Fabrizio tweeted, I shared it saying, oh my God, I've been told it's confirmed, right? This In The Know account guy, bruv. We spoke about this last night. There's something happening with him. I don't know what it is. Wouldn't it be amazing if he just, I don't know who he is.
I'm telling you, it's Fab's burner account. I'm telling you, it is, bro.
Can you imagine? It's amazing. Like it's amazing the speed of this, though, as you say, because when we chatted this morning on the stream, there was the element was along the lines of how long do you think it will be? And even yourself, you were like, maybe 2, 3, 4 days a week. I felt maybe 2 or 3 days, but for it to go from this time last night, there was murmurings to full total agreement with the player, first official bid coming in. And that's the element there with Fabrizio, first official bid. Like he hasn't spoken about any bids that Man United have put in. It's all been talks and preliminary.
Imagine if we announce Van der Beek before Arsenal announced Gabriel.
Again, but there's also such an important element about that, which I think is important, is the fact that look at the Kai Havertz deal, look at the Thiago deal, look at the Gabriel deal. These deals have been done, reported as done by the biggest journalists in the world for between a week to 2 weeks. Thiago deal is every other day you hear it could be happening today. It's very, very close, but yet they're protruding and going on. And remember, the only team that gets criticized for dragging out transfers is Manchester United, and it's a myth. It's a myth that's been created by the anger that we felt for 7 years. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like there is no substantial evidence to prove that this is the case at all. And Van der Beek may not be our marquee signing this summer, because I think we all know that's Jadon Sancho, but he certainly could be a massive, massive deal that goes out. And it's a great marker. with sort of, for us, I think it's about 3 weeks until our Premier League campaign starts. Plus, when you look at the fact that Martial and Pogba and a few others could also be missing the start of the season, I think it's so important to have these players kind of ready and available to go out. And one thing that I can't get my head around, and I can't understand why he's so cheap. He's got a market value. This is what's amazing about this deal. He put it in as well. So, everyone's about overpaying and stuff like that. I'm just going to go onto the website I use at work for my FX and conversion rates, right? So 40 million euros is 35.6 million pounds on current exchange rate. It will be a variant of that depending on who Man United use to do their FX. And probably it's highly likely that a club Man United size who deal in euros will probably hold a balance of money on a euro account anyway, meaning they never have to do the exchange, so they don't lose bips on either end of that transaction. If that makes sense to anybody when I talk bips, but that's small points and fractions that you lose every time you exchange money. But it's around 35 million pound it's going to cost. Donny van der Beek, with the leading sports consultants, is valued at 39 million pounds sterling. It means United are going to get a player for about 4 million pounds below his market valuation. When you consider Chelsea fans were happy paying 38% over the market valuation for Ben Chilwell, this isn't just a quick bit of brilliant business for a wonderful midfield player. United are picking him up for, as I say, nearly 5 million pounds below his valuation price. It's tremendous business across the board.
Listen, someone just said Woodward deserves credit. Eisen captain. I want to slow down on the credit to Woodward for now, and let me see what my man and the team do for the rest of the transfer window. If he does secure the Sancho, if he does secure a Grealish or a Reguilon or a Badashida as well, then I might have to, dare I say Don Woodward.
Hey, can you imagine by this time next Sunday? Can you imagine by next Sunday if we're sitting there with Van der Beek, Badashila, and Jadon Sancho all holding Man United shirts? Like, it will be. This is the same people that wanted Woodward out will be going, statue, please. Like, let me take the knee. Do you know what I mean? Everyone I'm going to take the knee for you, bro. Like, he'll get that. He'll just be. People go from one to the other. I'm just more interested. Like, I'm not bothered either way. Like, when it comes to Woodward, I'll say well done for the good bits of business, and I'll say you're an idiot for the bad pieces of business. I'm pretty consistent like that. David, get yourself on the show, bruv. I shared the link with Elite. I don't know if Elite shared it with you, man, yet.
I've shared it with the man, them, so they can rock through if they want.
Do you know what it is? They just know they want to laugh at us, and because we're flying, it's. I still get so many. I've had about 10 messages in the last 5 minutes from people on Twitter saying, "Bro, I'm so sorry that I called you the In the Know account the other day. I really know that you're not him now." And I'm like, "Well, I told you I wasn't him."
People, use your brains, please.
Mate,
it will save you. It will save you apologizing to a man for no reason, fam. Literally,
it's like if I was him, and as I say, if I had the contacts, it would be me that has a contact. I'd be making myself famous. I'd be on the I'd be making myself famous with it. I wouldn't be pretending to be somebody else. It makes no sense. And even if I was guessing it that well, what I would do is I would present it in the way of, I don't have any inside information, but I can read the transfer market with such accuracy that I can predict when things are going to happen. That's quite literally
man kind of coming with Moneyball or like the accountant or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's legitimately the angle that I would come. Hang on.
What's up?
Hang on. Another thing from Fabrizio here. Okay, says Man United are confident and convinced they're going to sign Van der Beek without negotiations by matching Ajax's price tag with their first official bid. But again, this is the thing. What I'd even challenge Fabrizio on there, and this isn't challenging him, it's just my interpretation, is there isn't. I think we have had negotiations, but again, they've been done informally between conversations, because people do realize that the big report yesterday is that Ollie has stepped in for these negotiations, and it makes sense why. Him and Van der Sar were teammates and friends for 5 years. He knows. You know for a fact they're probably friends, and it'll be a case of, listen, and that's what you do. You always want your money men doing the conversations. But if one of my friends that I've won Premier League titles with and played with on a regular basis is in charge of saying yes or no, I'm just picking the phone up and saying, listen.
You might have been like, Edwin, listen, these man, don't listen to these man. Just give me him. Give me Van der Beek, bro. I'm begging you.
Exactly. But it would have just been done in a way like, how much do you guys want for him? We want 40 million euros. Can we negotiate in terms of structure of that. It would have been told, listen, on that price for a player who's quality, we want it all in cash. It's easy. There doesn't need to be a negotiation because you've got two friends. Yeah,
have been talking about Fred and what happens to Fred now. You see, everyone knows on this channel I love Pastor Frederick, innit? Like he's one of my guys. I love him. But if we bring up Van der Beek and someone like Grealish comes in, I'm looking at who's going to get axed. And it's between Fred, unfortunately, and I don't want that to happen. I would love for Fred to stay. It's between Fred and it's between Fred and McTominay. Let's be honest, because Matic ain't going nowhere. He's probably going to retire here. And those two are the two guys that we've been doing okay for the rest of this, like at the start of the season. But when we actually brought in the man, when the Avengers rolled through, them man were nowhere to be seen. So you have to look at those two and be like, all right, one of those two would either go anywhere. McTominay would never go on loan. McTominay is a youth academy product. He is loved by the fans and by the staff and the team. So if you use all that, it looks like it's going to be Fred. Sorry, it looks like it's going to be Fred. And as much as I would be sad to see him go, I think there is a player in there, and we just haven't been able to get the best out of him. I understand why Pastor Frederick would be the one to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, and it's not even a kind of negative thing about Fred. It's more to do with the fact that I think Scott McTominay, being Manc born and bred in terms of
Indiana.
Yeah, I think he's less likely to be frustrated with having a bit part role. He's just, if you come through the academy of a football club and you're a first teamer on good money, you're probably going to play 30 games a season. I look at Fred. Fred's going to think, I want to be a first team. I want to be a starter. And with Pogba looking like he's going to sign a new deal, Van der Beek coming in, Bruno being there, Matic being preferred as a kind of a DM when it's needed. You know, especially imagine if we go in Santiago as well. Yeah, Fred's career is done at Man United, and I'm never bothered by those types of things. In terms of, I like Fred as a guy. He turned his season round last year. He was brilliant for us between October and lockdown. And without him in that period, there's no way we would have made top four. We would have lost even more games. But there comes that point where I look at Ollie. I'm putting my trust in him, and if he decides Van der Beek is a better option moving forward than Fred, I'm just going to trust it 110% and respect Fred. Wish him well moving forward. What's really good about improving himself at the end of his United career, if he does indeed leave, is that he's been able to raise that price. So are we going to get £50 million for him in this market? Probably not. I think we could raise £40 million for him. The right kind of club would want him. So that actually, you might be able to sell him for the same level of money that you're bringing in Van der Beek for. And I don't do myopic net spend, but if you've got 40 million leaving your account and you can get sort of 30-40 million cash in the other direction, your cash reserves are not touched at all. So Man United are not damaged from a income point of view. You've got as much going out as you've got coming in, so it could be a really good bit of business. I'd be sad to see him leave, but
I think Fred has been massively misunderstood at Man United, because obviously he got brought in that third season of Jose, where he wasn't backed. Everyone would admit that. I'm not Jose's biggest fan, but I would admit he wasn't backed in the third season. He wasn't first choice of what we wanted. He came in, and I don't think anyone understood what Fred was or what we wanted from him. Some people were saying he's going to be a Kante kind of player, DM. Some were playing he's going to be a box to box. Some were saying, he's more advanced and he can get some goals and get assists. So he was always been limbo, and now what's with that face, fam?
Keep speaking. I'll share this.
And now, and he came into a system at the start with Jose where it was a bit more defensive. He didn't really utilize his ability to press. Didn't really utilize his engine because we were sitting back so much. And he wasn't even in the team that much anyway. So he would always get a couple of games here and then just get moved, shafted out of the team. And then he'll be randomly back in the team. And then people will expect him to be sick, but he's hardly had any football. And so he's always in this limbo state. Ollie came in. Again, he wasn't getting any games because I really and truly, I don't think Ollie actually rates him. I don't know why. I don't know how, but Ollie don't really think he's the guy. So he came in, wasn't getting any games. Season starts, wasn't getting any games. And then there were some injuries coming in, Pogba injury. And so he started to get the games and we started to see what he could do. If he played, I personally think, instead of a double man pivot, if he played in a 4-3-3 and was the secondary 8, the one who will win the ball, play it off, track back, make good darting runs. Like on the counter, he was good. Some of the balls he plays on the counter is very good. I remember the one against Man City where he just slot. I think it was either Martial or Rashford. And he just slots it in with his left foot. But because we play a double pivot and we expect him to pick up the ball from the centre backs with his back towards the midfield, that's not Fred. You know what I mean? Fred ain't that guy.
No, mate. I think everything you've said, I completely agree with. You know, he was signed, and Joe said he didn't fancy him. You know, he's had a torrid time, and then Ollie comes in, and he's like, "Oh, does Ollie fancy him?" No one really knows. It's a difficult thing, but you never quite know in terms of this. Will said there, Pereira should go first. Fred's a Bible-loving family man, and listen, that element is true, but you never quite know what Ollie's plans are. Maybe Fred does stay. Maybe Fred does go. Maybe it is Scotty Mack who gets sacrificed. Maybe just getting rid of. You know, maybe we're going to be looking to use Van der Beek in a more advanced role on a more regular basis, meaning, you know, the Pereiras and the Lingards and the Juan Matas are going out, and we're going to keep those centralized players that we can all guess who we think, but at least we're being honorable as Man United fans and saying this is what we think, as opposed to sort of sitting on the fence or doing what some Chelsea fans have done and trying to finesse some.
Get everybody in there, like get 15 man on the pitch.
What I wanted to share with you, my Facebook, someone sent me copied me into a tweet that got tweeted 19 minutes ago that says a private plane from Biggin Hill, which is only about 20 minutes from where I live, which is where where the private plane that Man United own is often at, flew from London, which is Biggin Hill, this afternoon to Amsterdam, and landed in Amsterdam at 5:30. The same plane left Amsterdam 2 hours later and landed at 8:05 in Cologne, Germany. The same plane that Man United used for their private flights. So, of course, and this is that's official. That has happened because it's been taken from, because you can, all things are recorded. But people are looking at that and like, that's, I want to believe it.
No, yo, like, we're not Arsenal fans. Stop tracking the planes.
I know. I can't. I don't want to believe those kind of things. But you know, when you see it, you're just like, Can you imagine?
Man are thinking, oh, they're doing plane pool. They're just gonna go and hop on the plane. Let's pick up Van der Beek. Yo, while we at it, let's go pick up Sancho while we at it, and let's all go back.
Personally, I just think most of these deals get done via like Skype or like Zoom. Like, I don't think they even need to fly, but maybe they want to do it face to face. We're gonna add Robert to the stream here. Robert, what do you want to say, my friend? You got a question for us or a point?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this Van de Beek deal, and I think it gives Ollie a really good plan B, and Matic now suddenly becomes a part of that plan B. He's a left-footed player, plays in the back. He could be taking Maguire's spot if Maguire needs to be subbed out and we need to go into attack. So I think we can have Matic on the field, backing up Van de Beek, Pogba, and Bruno. Also, I think Van de Beek gives us a lot of options on set-piece plays, especially on corner kicks, to have another guy that's really good with close control. And if they're calling us Penchester United now, well, we'll see what ends up being moving forward. It could be crazy how many chances we're going to generate.
If we won every single one of our games 1-0 with a penalty, I would absolutely love it, man. I would just inject the tears of my other fans into my veins, man.
Bruv, listen, and Van der Beek loves a run into the box. He loves being in that box, you know. You got to think, how many goals did Bruno Fernandes score this year, last 2 years? 2 seasons, if you add up Bruno Fernandes' touches in opponents' boxes for the last 2 seasons, it doesn't add up to how many touches in the box Van der Beek has had this one campaign. And remember, the Dutch league was cut short and he's still got more. This guy is in that box on a regs basis. So it adds a new dimension to Man United. Robert, thank you very much for coming on. We've got Flawless, who's going to be joining us now, and Indiana as well. Indiana seems to disappear, but Flawless is now with us. My guy, Flawless. First of all, what I think we have to address here is he's on holiday. He rung me once today. I rung him back. My guy, Aaron, must be feeling just nice and relaxed now, can enjoy his holiday out there in Lyon. Flawless, from your point of view, Donny van der Beek, he's all but a Manchester United player now. How big and good a signing is that, in your opinion, bruv?
Oh, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Not in terms of just on the pitch, but also off the pitch. I think for fan morale, I think they had to pull this out because the fans, you mentioned Aaron, amongst others, were going crazy on social media. So we had to get this deal done. But yeah, in terms of on the pitch, He seems like I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've heard from the likes of yourself and Aaron, he's very, very talented, and he improves the squad depth. Is he more a 6, or is he more? I heard you obviously mentioning his attacking prowess. Is he more an 8 or a 10?
I think he's more of an 8.
He's
He's very versatile. He's very versatile. But I think if you're gonna ask me where would I play him, I'll play him as an 8 personally. I think seeing him as a 6 might waste him a little.
Okay, so what I want to ask is, could a midfield in your eyes, both of you, in your eyes, of Donny van der Beek, Pogba, and Bruno, could that midfield 3 work for a long period of time?
It's a stretch. Maybe against like the small teams.
I think what happens is with a formation like that is you don't have a natural ball-winning midfielder, which can be a problem. Someone that's going to break up that play, but it gives us so much versatility. And what I will say is, an in-form Van der Beek could keep a Bruno or a Pogba out of the Man United team. He's that good at football. So if he's like, the way you look at it, even with Fred could be balling at his highest level. McTominay could be playing out his skin. I still don't think they're as good as Paul Pogba. So, but Van der Beek, we've seen this guy tear up Champions League games as an example. We've seen him, he not the Dutch side. He's not all Dutch footballers. That's probably too much generalization. Ajax players can ball. We know that their academy is based on it. It's the birthplace of total football. So, and
then sometimes you get duds like Chong. We got that man from Ajax, fam. I don't know what's going on with him. We must have skipped him or something. Maybe
he left there too young. Who knows? Indiana joins us again. How you doing, brother?
I have to change the headphones, man.
Yeah. I'll put you back in sort of the I would say use normal earphones. Come back and join us in a few moments. Honestly, earbuds and the Bluetooth phones are not good for Streamer. Streamer doesn't like them at all. A comment here from Swish, who says Fred is talented, extremely aware, a dynamic warrior of a midfield who disrupts the opponent's attack and has the quickness and thought to move the ball swiftly between the lines. I agree. I think it's a really good descriptive.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry. Now I was gonna say obviously I'm not saying you do this, but the Fred slander to me is wild. Because to me, do I believe he's a first teamer for Manchester United challenging for league titles? No. But can he do a job and be a great squad player? Yes. So I think at this moment in time, our best midfield 3 is Fred, Pogba, and Bruno. That's just me though. That's what I think it is. But
Chong came from Frenoid, by the way. Thanks, chap, for correcting me. I was mixing them up with Fosse Mentor.
Yeah, here. Indiana, is that better?
Yeah, no, sorry, headphones. The battery's died on my headphones.
Honestly,
cut me off.
Bluetooth headphones don't work great on live streaming anyway. What you're wearing now, perfect, absolutely perfect. I want to hear from you, and then we'll go to my guy Cameron, who's had the hair fixed up. I'm liking the look.
Told you, homie, it was coming.
United signed someone, and now he's like, right, I'm getting my hair done.
There we go. Indiana, what do you make of this now? In the last 24 hours, this deal has gone from, like, I'll be honest with you, 25 hours ago, until a certain in the know account everybody thought was me. No one was talking about this deal being a possibility. He tweeted at 6:41 p.m. on the 29th of August. And from that moment until now, we're pretty much at total agreement as confirmed by the world's leading transfer expert, Fabrizio Romano. Give me your thoughts, Indiana.
The in the know account, I don't think there can be a debate now, can there? There can't be a debate of whether he's legit or not. 100% legit. When you look at all the stuff he's come out with, how can you turn around and question it? And again, if he is guessing, I want those lottery numbers because I said it first, so I want the lottery numbers. They got to go to me. And
we'll do a syndicate. And then
all right, cool.
And then we'll get half the money we win as a collective. And then we'll invest it in the football terrace. We'll all become equal partners. We'll all be rich anyway. We'll become equal partners, and we'll destroy every other YouTube. We'll buy every other YouTube channel out there.
man like Bill Gates and that. You know what I'm saying? Mark Zuckerberg and them man there.
Euro million numbers when it's like a quadruple rollover, 150 mil. We buy the other YouTube channels up. We make certain YouTubers. They can be the cleaners and the tea men and stuff, and us man run it. But I'm only joking.
Will, my guy, Rocket is Rocket Raccoon. Fred is Rocket Raccoon.
There we go. On the In the Know account, I agree with you. I mean, this morning when he tweets about Michael Keane, I didn't think anything of it, and then 5 hours later, it's announced Michael Keane signs a new deal. I'm like, who guessed that? Who makes that up? That's what a weird thing. Laying in bed, what lie can I make up today? I know, Michael Keane new deal. Oh my god, you can't keep guessing these things. It's impossible. I don't know who he is. I want to, or she is. I want there to be. Do you know what I wanted to? I actually wanted to build up to like 500,000 followers, and then just do like a reveal. Can you imagine how many people that would tune in for a reveal? Like I'd be there, bro, front row. Do you know what I mean? Imagine it's Zayn.
He's got so much money.
You know what? He's this rich like Saudi prince who just knows everything that's going on. He's like, I'm just gonna wind up.
You know what Zayn does? Yeah, if it was Zayn, my man always be like, "Yo, just give me some info and here's some little change from." You know what I'm saying?
Just some bribes for you, Cameron. What do you make of this deal, my brother?
Bro, this has been a whirlwind. It's been quick, eh? Like real G's move in silence, I guess. Like I know it came out a while ago that we were looking at him, but then it went dead. So I was like, okay, he just doesn't want to come here. The links were just loose because he had a good release clause, whatever. And then the last 3 days like that in the No account, I've been kind of following, and then I'm pumped because I know when we were talking before about like who would you prefer, Jack Grealish or Van de Beek? My answer was always Van de Beek in the sense that the cost was going to make more sense, and he's more versatile. It seems that it's an interesting thing. So I've been reading a lot about it, listening to people talk like you when you brought up the facts and stats about him being in the box so much, like compared to other midfielders. But then there's a lot of statistics that back up his work rate and the way he likes to track back and actually defensively play too. So it seems like a defender that, I mean, not a defender, a midfielder that literally can slot in anywhere across their midfield, and we don't have that kind of depth. We don't have like when if Bruno goes down, I know, or Pogba, we all are holding our breath, being like, "Well, shit, what do we do now?" Like we're seeing guys say, "Oh, he's a carbon copy of Paul Pogba," like it's a bad thing. Okay, so what? Like I'm curious to see what Ollie might do with this type of midfielder. You know, like maybe this is crazy. This is crazy talk because every team needs balance, but if Van de Beek has that kind of work rate, do you figure out a way to play the three together? Are there games where instead of us needing a CDM against those sides where we need to unlock the defenses, do you not play all three?
Well, what about
they're not going to have the ball?
Well, what about a 4-4-2 diamond with Martial, Rashford playing as split attackers? That's if we don't sign Sancho as an example. You could have Matic holding, Van de Beek and Pogba either side, Bruno as the diamond, and then
that's nasty.
And then you play the split strikers, splitting out to the side, and you've got Bruno and you've got Van de Beek who love getting into the box and cover those central areas. Where there's a will, there's a way. And
options.
By the way, you can do that. Even if you bring Sancho, you can have Sancho in, but it might be like, you know what, Sancho's out for 2 months. He's pulled a hamstring. What do we do now? When you have ballers who are versatile in position, Pogba can play couple of positions very well, Rashford 2 or 3 positions very well, Martial 2 or 3 positions well, Bruno 2 or 3 really well. You're suddenly blessed with versatility, but not people that I'm not talking John O'Shea versatility. John O'Shea, love the guy, but these guys are ballers of the highest degree. Van Dijk gets into the match day squad for every single team in the Premier League. He is that good a footballer, and that's what I love about this link. You know, I really he gets him. Look at the midfield of even City's midfield that needs like reinvesting, if that makes sense. As an example,
he definitely gets into Liverpool, definitely easy.
Oh, mate, bruv, listen,
easy.
Walks
in Liverpool.
Mark
Noble
Noble
into most sides.
Mark Noble can play Henderson's role. I know it. I'm only messing.
Henderson world class, man. Let's put some respect on Henderson's name. World class, you get me? Let's be man. So yeah, me. I apologize. Let's not have no Henderson blasphemy out here. You get me? World class baller and that.
There we go. But, do me for everyone who's tuning in, smash that like button, please, right now. You can also become an official member of the Football Terrace for as little as 99 pence. Just click that join button right about now.
Terry paid for his daughter's presents.
Yes.
Cute kid.
A party, man. Honestly, it just mounts up. You're sitting there like, oh God, it's just crazy. She had a good weekend though. She's spoiled rotten. So yeah, all good.
That's good.
Next year is going to be interesting if all these deals go through. If the deal, like if Sancho does come through, and then everything we're seeing with Everton, for instance, too, Alan James Rodriguez, like it's going to be a very different league. Like I heard you say earlier, I don't know if 100 will be the point that will be the total next year. I think it's going to be lower because I think teams
Yeah,
are
it will
going to.
be.
Like I can't see unless City do go and get Messi, then like obviously we all have to kind of be a little worried there. If City go and get Messi, then they might just run away with it. But if not, it's a balanced league. It looks like next year on paper.
Like, if Man City get Messi, yeah, he will just be looking around, be like, I'm basically at Barcelona again. What the heck is this? I can't carry all these, man. Look, you probably look at their back line and be like, is that you, PK? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, as much as Messi's sick, yeah, as soon as he comes into the league, he's best player in the league, like hands down, like no arguments. But Messi, yeah, he can't carry everyone, fam. He's been doing it for
but it
years.
won't be if you sitting beside. You got KDB, you got Aguero, you got
KJ.
that's a nasty
Yeah,
team,
that's
bro.
what
You got Sterling.
No.
You'll never have the ball against that team. You will never have the ball
But the thing is,
ever.
we've already seen that you don't need the ball against Man City to beat them, man.
True,
You don't.
true, but true. But
So
you
if
add
they're all
that.
they're all up there,
I just think
attacking, one mistake.
I just think like I look at it and I just think the way Pep plays, and if you add him with Pep, it's a dangerous.
They have a midfielder
proposition.
in next. They have a midfielder in goal. I'm telling you, fam. They will challenge for the title. But
look, I know KJ's obviously being KJ here. He's the best stirrer out there. Like City will still be a threat next year. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But I agree with Cameron. I've said it all the time. I can't see there being at the team that gets like the high 90 points again and is running away with it. We've already seen, and Drifty, the most real Liverpool fan out there at the minute, is already noticing the deficiencies within this Liverpool team. And if they sign no one, I almost feel like if they don't sign anybody, these Liverpool players will be looking at the season as we're tired, we've barely had a rest, we've got to go again, and there's no reinforcements. You look at Chelsea right now, I actually think a lot of the Chelsea youngsters will even be sitting there going, look what's around us. They've got the minerals as young lads to make it. Look at the competition I've got. Look at the quality that's around me. It's going to improve all of them. And I even like Tammy, that we know isn't the best. If Tammy has to start over Werner because Werner's out for a few games, look who he's got supplying him now in comparison to last year. They improve. Liverpool are not going to do anything. Like if they don't, especially if they miss out on Thiago. Honestly, I need flawless. If that happens, I think we could convince Stroh to be a Man United fan. You know, I mean,
that will never happen. I've tried.
No, I get that. It's going to be a close league next year. I still make Liverpool favourites to win it, but I think we're going to see if Man United can pull this off, get Sancho, gaps closing. Clap is
funny.
I'm curious about the defender because we're going to sign a defender, and it's interesting that it's going to happen. Seeing the links, I'm curious who it ends up being. I'm very curious. I don't think it'll be a left back. It might be, but I think between left back or center back, we're going to sign one defender, and that's the one that's going to be interesting. I'm confident of that. Like I'm more confident of that happening than Sancho in a sense. I still think Sancho is going to happen, but I think the defender's a lot like the fact that we already bid on that French kid who's a monster, by the way. I was looking at his measurements. He's a big 19-year-old. Big kid, so it'd be interesting if we get that guy or the Pau Torres links or the Reguilon links. There's a lot of links to defenders right now where it seems like we've probably thrown out a lot of feelers, which is what we do.
That kid from Monaco, he's got games under his belt as well. Like
and
he's not
big.
like
he's huge.
Like he's got a lot of games. He's got quite a bit of experience for a 19-year-old player. So
boys. There was an Instagram post put out by I'm not sure what account by 433 about the news breaking, and Bruno Fernandes has liked it. Which is. I mean, again, doesn't really mean it. But you know what I love about these things? What I love about it is that, like, that just sends. It's one of those little extra, just sends everybody into a whirlwind, and I'm like, I love it, bro. It's like the aeroplanes. It's like, oh my god, Man United's private plane has left Biggin Hill, and it's gone to the two cities where our main two targets are. I go, oh, that's good news. I'll get excited if I see Woodward walking into like. You know, if a member of the press picks up a picture of Woodward walking into one of Dortmund's buildings, then I'm like, oh, what's going on here? What do you guys make of this comment here from one of our members, Daniel, that says, I said top three will be Man City, Chelsea, Man United. Can any of you imagine Liverpool falling out of the top three next year?
Nah, because
if they don't sign anybody.
No, even if they don't sign, as much like all trolling aside, I hate Liverpool much more than anybody else. but they're not just gonna just fall off like that. Like they're still the team to beat.
But flawless,
Still
one
have-
injury.
But
One
the
injury.
thing is, people say that. One thing about the injury thing, because I'm close to Strong, we talk regular. They've had injuries, but because they can cover.
Yeah,
it
but it's
up,
not their
they
first
have-
team player injuries. That's the difference.
No, they've
bro.
had
Just
Allison
Alisson.
was out. No. Allison was out at points. But we talk how friggin' KJ calls City's goalkeeper a midfielder, so we know how important goalkeepers are. You get what I'm saying? And that, like they've had injuries. Have they had major injuries? No, but have they had injuries? Yeah, people act like they just went through the whole season. Like they're still going to be very tough to beat. Like even though they lost to Arsenal on penalties, like the gap's still like Liverpool ain't just going to fall away. You
Flawless.
know what
Nah,
I'm
that's
saying?
true.
They're not just going to fall away. To say
Wait,
they-
I
Yeah, go
will
on,
say this.
go on.
I'll say this, my bro. If Leicester City can win the league, and if Chelsea can go from champions to 10th, Liverpool can drop to 4th. It's possible.
Agreed.
It is.
No,
You know,
of course,
agreed.
Wait, let me respond to that. Yes, of course it is possible, but context is needed. When Leicester won the league was complete arse cheeks. Like, let's keep it real. When Leicester won the league, Spurs should have won that. The league was the worst it's been. Like, Arsenal finished second that season. That's how bad that league was. Arsenal finished second that season. In terms of when Chelsea went from champions to 10th, that's the Mourinho effect. Let's keep it 1000%. Could Liverpool drop out? Yeah, but people are expecting for that to happen. City will
Don't
finish in
you
the top
see
three. I believe.
don't you see
Chelsea-
the? Sorry.
I
Go.
think with Chelsea, people are talking about Chelsea signings. They might not all click. That's what people are banking on, and they are now under huge pressure. I watched the show that you man did with the Chelsea lot. I can't remember what show it was, and you had David on there, and Terry and David was going back and forth about it, and Prime, and they didn't want to say that Chelsea have to mount a title challenge, and Jem was on it as well. And Jem was the only guy who was like, "Yeah, I think we need to." Chelsea are under a lot of pressure now. They're under a hell of a lot
Frank
of
is.
pressure.
Frank,
But don't
will
you
be
think
happy.
the way that Liverpool ended the season might have an effect, and also I know it's a Carabao Cup game, so you can't really go off that. But even the way they played that game, do you not think that might have an effect on their season in the long run?
It's not like, obviously form's not a switch, so you can't just turn it off and on. But I looked at it once they won the league, even though they wasn't the best leading up until that point, they've done all the hard work and hard yards. I still think they have it in them to go again. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see any obvious deficiencies. Of course, if they don't sign anyone, it could happen. But even that, I'm skeptical on. I believe they will sign somebody. I don't think Klopp's silly enough to go again with that team. That's just me though.
I can't imagine Liverpool going 2 summers signing nobody. I still think they will bring. I want us to hijack the Thiago deal for banter and because he's a great player. But I still think they'll bring him in and it'll be okay. But then I agree with what Elite's saying in the sense of that their form from February till now has not been great. And no new signing. If they get a couple of injuries, the keeper. And what's interesting is this is how you know injuries could affect them. Because you hear comments yesterday like, oh, with no Henderson and especially no Trent, we look a bit toothless. Well, imagine Trent and Henderson get injured for 6 months apiece. Then what? That would damage them hugely. So they need something else. They need something different. But then that's when I agree with Flawless that I think Liverpool will make those signings, especially seeing what Chelsea have done. City are probably going to still bring more players in. There's no doubt. Man United looks like we're now going to really join the race and push on and start bringing people in. Liverpool are not stupid. They're not run by idiots. They're not run by dummies. They may then be in that kind of situation where they say, hang on a minute. Just push ourselves forward. I got a comment here saying, in the know is a Terry experiment. Bro, I know I do social experiments sometimes. I'll be honest with you. As much as I appreciate, I think that's a compliment. I couldn't guess. I don't know anything. So I wouldn't, how would I guess all these deals before they happen, bro? If I could do that, I wouldn't do it as an experiment. I'd just make my own account bigger. I really, really would.
E3 boss, you said United fans love this but Arteta's won more than your club in nearly 5 years. Fam, we won in those 5 years, we won Carabao Cup and Europa League, fam.
And FA Cup.
And FA Cup. Why you that's 3, bro.
And by the way, and if you want to go by what I'm not sure what one of your players did it, who called the
title.
And
we won the Community Shield.
What's the one call him Calaza Snack?
Oh,
yeah,
Christ.
If Arsenal fans want to call that a title, then we've got 4 to your. Is it 2?
2,
No,
yeah.
they might won 2 FA Cups in that time. But Arteta only won 2. But yeah, so that's an absolute difference. E-Boss, you've done yourself there, bruv. You've absolutely done.
if we hijack the Thiago move, let's just say we did, that would definitely mean Fred's gone then, right? Like the whole links to Galatasaray. Like he'd be, because then we'd be bloated. We'd be bloated.
Both
Do
come
we
in.
want that?
What,
We want
Thiago or Fred? I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah, Thiago. That's
That's not
you take him right now rather than signing a Grealish or someone who's proven in the Prem, or signing a Tonali. You would take that. You would take that out of the budget. Is what I'm saying.
Well, what's mad about? I mean, I think Thiago is brilliant. If you could sign a Tonali now, maybe. But there's something interesting about that. If he's only going for 30 million and 10 of that's a loan for a year, another big club is looking at him, that tells me one of two things. The big clubs are either not convinced yet, or secondly, Tonali's not ready to leave Italy. And do you get what I mean? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for no other bigger club. And even in Italy, it's AC Milan who are
winning
historically a massive, but in recent years they've been run of the mill, So I get your point, but for me, I'd be very happy with Thiago.
Sky Sports are now reporting on it now, saying that they're close to reaching an agreement to sign Donny van der Beek.
But listen, do you know what I will say? If I'm not going to get on this one deal, but if 3 or 4 more deals happen, and I don't start seeing these media outlets, actually I will have a word first with this in the know guy. I say, bro, you got to show your name, man, because he's getting these stories out before anybody else, and then no one's like, I see him quote tweeting more going, "Oh, did you read my tweets and whatever?" And it's like they must know who he is. It's mad. But man's gone, by the way, from like 3,000 followers to 24,000 in like a few days. The growth on that is mad. That's why I'm saying to people, I wouldn't do that under a fake account. I'd do it on my own name. Like, I wouldn't do it. Just wouldn't do it.
Maybe you can't, Terry.
Maybe
you can't.
Maybe it's Banksy.
Banksy. He was a designer.
That's true. Maybe he's not able to. He's just he's like somebody who does know a lot and just can't do it. But it's right. I look back on some of the things he was calling out, and even the smaller deals that none of us would probably care about. You're saying like the Michael Keane stuff, and saying the new contracts that were being signed. I think he called it the Madison one too, to be honest. Because I was just trying to go through it, and it's just things that we wouldn't care too much about, but he's still letting people know they're happening. So you got to believe it at this point. I always am kind of shaky on the in the know accounts, and I like to wait for Fab or Bach or one of those guys, Damasio, somebody to give me something. Buhassi if it's France. I look for those guys.
No, Cameron, I agree with you, mate. But I think what's interesting is it's not tweeted about Michael Keane's new deal 8 weeks ago, and then when it happens, quote tweets it and says, "I told you." That anyone can sit there tweeting 10 things a day, and when 3 of them happen at some point in the future, you say, "I told you so." This guy's doing it an hour, 40 minutes, 2 hours before it's announced, and it's like, oh, it's before nearly everybody else. I mean, he's probably sitting there gutted he didn't tweet out that he heard the deal was done when he direct messaged me saying it, and then Fabrizio went out a few minutes later. He should have just gone out bang straight away. Although he did actually. I was looking at his account. He told me he was going to go out and tweet something at like 8 o'clock. But then what I saw him do, and I want to go back to it and double check it, just to give this guy pay some homage to him, because he did these quote tweets. He tweeted saying he quote tweeted someone at Man United exclusive said very soon Man United fans, and it was a doctored picture of Van der Beek walking in through the Man United gate for the game. He quote tweeted saying very soon, 3 minutes before Fabrizio said that the deal was done. But that also came a few minutes after he messaged me saying he's been told it's done. And I'm gonna message that. That's what I'm saying. I bet he wishes though. I wish I just went full hog and said it's all done and over.
Yeah. Before we continue, chat. Keep coming with who you think is in the no account is. I've seen Ram. I've seen Safe. We think it's Zayn or Fabrizio. Keep it coming, people. You guys are entertaining us.
Someone said yesterday it's definitely Terry's missus. That's incredible. That was amazing.
That's good, Bencher. That's good.
My dad and my stepmom sat me down for a chat today. I'm like, what's wrong? I thought someone had died, right? So what happened? So I was just a bit concerned about all the abuse you've been getting the last few days on socials. We've sort of seen it. And they were like really shook by it. And they're like, you okay? Because I had a really bad headache today. I had like the worst headache. And my stepmom's like, it's because of all the stress, because of the way people are treating you. Maybe you should take a break from it. And I'm sort of like, no, I'm seriously, I'm fine. Like, honestly, it's it's interesting. I was really stressed about it on Friday, but it's like everyone's been really great. But I had a good chat with Mark Goldbridge privately yesterday, and it was almost just like a case of, do you know what? It's kind of cool because there's nothing to, there's nothing illegal going on here by anybody, right? I'm not being charged by the police with something because I didn't do. My life isn't going to be damaged by idiots making lies up on the internet. I've just blocked all the people that have spread it. I don't have to now worry about it or see it or whatever. Do you get what I mean? And I know you put it out, and it's like, do you know what? You man we'll chat off air behind the scenes for hours. You guys all know it isn't me. Like you just know, and it's like, and I know it isn't me. So there isn't any worry about it.
Yes, Franklin, nice one.
The moment you went on air and said, I swear on my children, I'm like, yo, people should dead this now. Because I'm like, if anybody's been watching Terry for the last few years or whatever, the one thing this man puts above everything is those kids. And like, no decent person in the world's ever coming on air and letting the world know that on my children, I'm not somebody and not mean it. So when I hear people, Ray, he's lying, doctoring things, saying, oh, he posted it. It's like, it's embarrassing for those people, in my opinion. You look stupid. Like, and they're the ones who are trying to use your name to build something. Because that's what it is, man. Because by saying this and trying to call you out, people are going to follow those people and be like, yeah, that's all it is. So, like, you just do the right thing, block them, get them out of there.
The interesting is that United Alley guy, I didn't really care too much about him. The guy's one of those people I call out anyway. He's one of those fake Man United fans who every tweet is twerking for rivals. Literally, if you go and look at his account, you'll be, it's 99% negative about it. He is a Liverpool or a Chelsea fan who's posed as a Man United fan for 4 or 5 years, and his friends sold out there, and it works. And do you know what? Yep, you can quote tweet my tweets where I say done deals, settle agreements. One sec, elite. But it's that. It was the guy Tom that was doing it that frustrated me, because this guy, me and Elite spoke about this on the phone. Yeah. This guy works for a verified company on Twitter with 500,000 followers, very socially aware organization, and he was telling people straight out, "It's Terry, we know it." And then when I'm challenging him, he's saying, "Well, it's just my opinion." I'm like, "No, but you're telling people it's a fact that it's me, and now you're saying it's an opinion." And then he's because I then obviously tweeted Twitter saying, "Can you block the people spreading these lies, because you as Twitter know it isn't me, because you'll be able to go in and check the locations of that guy's logins and my logins, IP addresses." And then he started saying things like, "Well, they're not going to give you personal information." I'm like, "Well, I'm not asking them to. I'm asking them to shut down the liars," as an example. And then I tweeted him back. I had a conversation with him. I said, "How can I prove to you it's not me?" And he basically couldn't answer the question. He's like, "I don't know how you can prove it." Well, there must be something I can do. And even then, I said to him, "But why are you telling people it's me with no proof?" He went, "Well, you're the one who has to prove your innocence." I'm like, "Bruv, that isn't how the world works. No one has to prove their innocence."
It was wild. It was very wild.
You're innocent until proven guilty. That's how. That's the.
You know what that is? That's in social media terms, because that's what social media is. As soon as someone's accused of something, you're guilty until proven innocent. In the court of social media, that's how it works. And people are doing this, Terry, because they just hating people. When people see success, people hate. Yeah, because people think, well, I can talk football and they can go on here and do this and it's easy, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? Just because you make it look easy, and KJ makes it look easy, and Cameron and other people come on there and talk football, and we can be entertaining with it, people think it's easy. So people see you. I told you this when I DM'd you. I said people hate on success. It's only because you're successful. If you had 5 viewers a night, no one would think this ITK account was you and that. And you know how you know it's not Terry? Because I would say, give me that information, and I just run with it. I would fully run with it.
And that's the thing, bro. And that's the thing about the whole thing that don't make sense to me. It's like, if it was me, I wouldn't pretend to be somebody else if I was this accurate at guessing. But you know what? Around that Tom guy, that was the only bit that frustrated me. And it wasn't me being attacked. When I had time to process it, was more, it shows how sad the world is, that people just go around throwing accusations like it's nobody's business. And even when you confront them and say, "Well, can I prove you right? Can I show that I'm not doing these things wrong? You know, I could do whatever needs to be done to prove this to you." And in fairness to a lot of the people on there, when I showed the DMs and the stream, a lot of them are like, "Oh, sorry, got it wrong, mate. Fair play to you," and whatnot. But we need to push out to people out there. You're innocent until proven guilty. And just because someone shared my tweet, the irony is Flawless shares loads and Prime shares loads of my YouTube streams. Does that mean I'm flawless? Like the logic behind why. I remember when my dad asked me why they think it's me, I said, because he shared it. They went, "Is that it?" I went, yeah, like that's it. It's a madness, but that just. Yeah, but what I've done is block those people. I didn't want to take it any further. I was in a point where I was going to go to one of the guys' organizations that he works for and be like, listen, your guy's spreading lies about me on the internet, causing me abuse. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to go in that deep because the guy might have a family to support, and I don't want to be someone that might end up damaging that. But it's worth people reflecting on that. As an example, KJ, you're pulling the face to something.
All right, now someone made a wild comment, and I was just like, how? Yo, guys, these comments about who the In the Know account are brilliant, but I've remembered who it is. It's Rebecca Varney.
It's Rebecca Vardy doing it.
Has to be, bro. Has to be.
You know what it is? It'll be someone that none of us have ever heard of before. I think what Indiana said is right. It'll be someone that isn't in a position to reveal who they are, but they enjoy kind of talking about it and revealing the information. Like I've said, the guy can't be guessing and getting this much right. They cannot be. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's Mark." They reckon it's Mark Goldberg. Again, if Mark Goldberg
Brooks, definitely.
If he did this, he would put this out himself. Why wouldn't he? It's like, think about how much I would give him. Yeah. I've got a question for you, boys. Who's the next signing? Like, who do we think the next signing is for United?
Sancho.
Like, yeah.
I just want to say this ITK guy, I might follow him and tell him, yo, give me this information. Like, I fully utilize it. He's not utilizing his potential, man. You got to live up. You got all these powers, yeah? Yo, utilize your potential. You know how big you could be if you started a YouTube channel.
There's a reason for it, though. There's got to be a reason for it. And maybe the reason is that if he does do that, reveals himself, then he loses that position of power.
Me. He could, yeah, that's true. He could tell me then, and we just split it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you need to work this.
I've already had this conversation with the guy. But what you said, around, I said I'm not going to go with everything. I need to wait and see what comes through. But every day when this stuff happens, I'm like, I'm just going to run with you. I said, give the information to me. I'll schedule a video. I'll go live. I'll tell on your stories. Tell people to follow you. You do vice versa. I'm cool to do that. If the guy turns out to get loads of things wrong, I'm still in the same position now as I am when I cover the media. I don't know if it's true. I'm just reporting on the information. So I've already had that conversation with the guy. Like me and him are doing it. We message each other. That's how it is. Because he's he either knows what's going on, or he's the best guesser in the world. Either way, he deserves credit for both those things. They're both a skill that I'd pay for. Do you know what I mean? If I could go to college and learn one of those two things, I'll sign me up now, bruv. Like it's such an interesting thing. Someone here, what's his Twitter account? I'll post it in the comment for you all right now. Let me go and go into my DMs and then.
So if Sancho happens for the structured deal that he put out there, I guess that would just kind of shut everybody up forever. Period, because he put that out, and I mean, it's not. I truly believe the Sancho deal is going to happen, and it's taking so long because it's such a big deal, and there's so many things that have to happen.
Theories of the 7th of September is on, like it is possible.
If we do that, I'm gonna be frustrated though, for real. I know, but we gotta stop that.
Honestly, I think these things have been sort of enough. I don't think Man United care about this type of things as a general rule. If the In the Know is right, the money and the structure of the money isn't too important to me. Let's see how quickly things escalate after a credible report of a potential replacement is announced. So, for instance, if Zaha is now suddenly linked, all the big journalists and Dortmund are heavily in for Zaha, it's happening. That's when I would look at the In the Know account and be like, do you know what? He was right, because if you go to his tweet, Dortmund are now looking. It's almost like Dortmund looking for a replacement is actually is the thing that's slowing things down. Rashford liked Fab's tweet about Van der Beek. I'm not surprised.
I love football fans. I do. I absolutely love it. Why are we tracking these things? Why are we tracking these things?
And that's what I would say. One thing I would say, right? I know a lot of people shout down these types of conversations and stuff. And so I shouldn't say this, shouldn't say whatever. But if this is what we're about as a football channel, if football fans like it, that's why I've done videos based on people liking tweets, because people care about it. And I don't ever laugh at it because it's what the viewers want. And does it mean something? Maybe. Does it mean nothing? It could. I think it's great. I mean, I'm a bit like you. Hang on.
What?
It's only in football, though. I'll tell you this right now.
Because Fabs has tweeted about Marcus Rashford liking it. Fabrizio's replied to his own tweet saying, "And thanks for the like at Marcus Rashford. It seems you're waiting with eyes looking." That's why because Fabrizio has noticed that Rashford has liked it. And the point being, I think why people, generally speaking, footballers are not out there liking hundreds of tweets, are they? So when they suddenly like something like a story about a player joining, I think that's why it creates news. If a footballer was liking every single rumor, no one would care. But Rashford liking it the way he did, Bruno liking it the way he's done, people are like, does that mean anything? And we're always looking for that kind of that more confirmation. We just want it, and that's why the media. They
remember when what's his name, Haaland signed that Man United shirt, and then he got spread around, and then he went on Instagram and did a story of him signing like loads of different shirts. I thought that was class. I thought it was absolutely class. But this is the world we live in now.
It's only football though. I follow basketball and American football, as you guys know, like heavily. And only in football and European football are the fans this engaged on what's going on like Twitter and transfers. And it's probably the nature of how transfers go down. But it's only and it's crazy. I love it. I'm one of them. I follow this stuff. This is why I'm on the channel.
Even
and I
today,
like that about it. It's a different world because it's almost like it's like a drama. It's like you're following a sports drama. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like different stories, different characters.
You guys have the draft day, which is the big thing. And I know that trades can happen. Can trades happen at any time, or is it certain periods?
So it's periods. Like there's trade deadlines. So essentially they can happen up until a certain point.
Yeah, and I kind of get that. But it's almost like, as you say, it's different here. We have 2 windows to do it in. So you've got your time barred on it as an example. It's big money that does it. This isn't. I don't quite know how it works over there. My understanding is, if I want the quarterback from another team,
it's got to be. See, it's got to be like for like. You can't just go buy a guy. You got to make it work.
So, yeah, exactly. So it's just different. And what we've done over here, and I think we've done it better than America when it comes to the periods, is we've made it into a drama, and it's why some people hate it. I've said now for like 5-6 years, I love silly season. I love the transfer area because it's not just is the rumor real. It's can you imagine what he brings to the team? Can you imagine how like Van der Beek link has now made Arsenal fans go, I was happy with our window. Now we need more. Up until that link, it was I'm really happy. It changes every time. It's a big ripple that goes across the pond, and you get everybody's unsettled by it, and it's movement. And the media, and TV have realized this is a commodity. The transfer window is almost a separate entity now to the league itself. And I love it. I absolutely.
Yeah.
The way social media has affected football is mad. Like even today, if you guys saw the tweet by Tottenham, they made a video about Doherty deleting a tweet that he made about Arsenal like years ago, knowing it will piss off Arsenal fans. And like just these little nuances that is seeped into football. It's man.
You know why that is, yeah? But you see these the guys who run like the football accounts and Twitter accounts, they like us, they trolls, man, innit? Imagine they gave us or any of us, gave any of us United Twitter account. We'd be trolling all day. You know whose account's fire? Is it Leipzig? Or I think it's
Leverkusen. Just the German clubs.
Even Dortmund goes in. Dortmund's been trolling United since the start of the window. They've just been guns out.
I swear, if I see you're flawless, Terry. If we see the Avengers on Man United's page, we need money. If I see Edison's a goalkeeper on one of these pages, I want my money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Midfielder, yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the on the Avengers thing in that we've already seen Prime and his lot. The Chelsea lot been trying to take it. It's like, just get another analogy. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of super things. Get another analogy. Why are you trying to take this Avengers one? He's saying, no, Prime, you good. Wear the shades, man. Wear the shades. Wear the shades, man.
They're in their box. They need to be. Man bottled it. Get your.
You know what? I'll leave and come back in with the shades if you want.
Get your Ray Pan.
Yeah. Do that.
Do you know what I mean? Get your band rays on, bro.
Do that.
This man said ban race.
You know they're not real. You know they're not. You know if he gets into, like them fake ones you buy in Turkey on a holiday, you get in a swimming pool and the chlorine rips off all the effects on them. I remember I bought a pair of fake Ray-Bans when I was in Turkey. I was about 20 years old, and they were really nice looking fake ones. What I love about all the shops that sell the fake stuff in Turkey, when you're walking past, they're like, "Bro, come in here, man. We've got all these makes." And I said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah, they're 100% fake." And I'm like, "I love that." I went in, I bought the glasses at the pool, wearing them, went back to the hotel, got in the pool. I was wearing them in the pool. And remember the watercolor when it got out, and I'm like, oh, the sun's shining. Turn it around, all the UV stuff is gone. It wipes it off. I was like, ah! That was £5 only though. So what do you expect? Here he is back. Here he is.
I heard what you said, ban raise. I heard that comment.
Let's go, Prime. Let's go, Prime. Let's go, Prime. That's your trademark. Let's go, Prime.
Guys. We're going to add a couple of other callers to this just to ask us some questions for a few moments. Ollie, first one is going to be Ollie Jen. The other one is One United Nation. Ollie Jen, what you saying, bro? What's your question or point you want to make?
Ah, man, I'm just happy about Van de Beek. First of all, what's up? What's going on, everybody?
Oh, Russell, what's going on, Russell? Hey,
oh, good, man. Look, Matic, Pogba, Fred, Bruno. It's about to get big. It's about to get absolutely big, man. I can feel it. This one doesn't seem like it's gaslight, you know. It sounds real.
Sorry. I just thought I'd make a joke there. Yeah, it's good, mate. It's huge. It's huge business. How much do you think he improves Manchester United?
I don't think he improves us in terms of our first 11, but I definitely think he improves us as a team. So in terms of the squad depth that we need, because people talking about, how do you pay 40 million for a bench player? Well, that's exactly what Man United need right now in terms of that department. You know, in terms of you can't replace Pogba, you can't replace Bruno. You know, maybe you can replace Matic. My guess has always been Alcantara since last year, but I don't know, man.
Terry, let me just say something on that, Russell. I think it's a great signing, and for a club like Manchester United, we've all known that we haven't done business, in a sense where it's gone our way in terms of prices. And for a player like Van de Beek, I think it's an excellent signing, and it's been one of these windows where and we're going to get top four, and the manager doesn't get backed in the next transfer window. So if Ole really gets this player and get a few other players and gets back, then I think then we can make a push next season in terms of getting top four comfortably and possibly winning a trophy as well.
Terry.
Well, you Prime, it genuinely looked like you didn't know what was going on. Like, it looked like he was blind.
Yo, Prime, man. Prime. Rock the shades with confidence, man, innit? Rock him with confidence, man.
I am. What am I supposed to do? I'm wearing them.
No, I'm saying that when he went to the
so what are you guys saying, though? Because I'm thinking Thiago Alcantara is more the signing, man. Sorry.
Guys, one sec. One United Nation. Listen, I hear your point, and I think you're absolutely right in regards to that. I want to go to Russell because you're just joining us. What else needs to come in? What else needs to happen in terms of deal in relation to this? Is it a case of Sancho still, or there are other positions that you need to think? Because when you're bringing in the level of quality that we are, in my opinion, we need to be looking towards challenging the titles of these kind of players. Where's your head at?
My head's at the CDM, bro. My head's been at the CDM since December, and Matic came in and did a great job, and I think he can still do a great job. But with Thiago Alcantara, Terry, I don't know if you can find the show if you have the time to do it. I've been spitting his name since then, and I never understood why people sort of slept on him after those 4 years where he was basically in Bayern developing. And if you look at players in his position, Modric, many players in his position usually develop at that age that he's at right now. So it's sort of like we should have been on a Thiago Alcantara watch, quote unquote. We should have been on it because the quality has always been there. And then you look at Matic, he's at 32 now, 31. It only makes sense. I look at Liverpool and people are talking about, oh, he'll make Liverpool great. I don't see it. If you know Thiago Alcantara, you would understand that if he goes there, there's no way Fabinho is playing. And they just paid 40 million for Fabinho. That's his position. It's not number 8. It's not, box to box. He's a CDM, bro. And he's quality. So for me, I hear the Sancho debate. But I'm looking at it as in we can't win the league anyway if we just sign Sancho. So how about we continue building? And if we continue building, I'll sign a centre-back, Thiago Alcantara, and Van de Beek. And go with what we have in our strike force until next season.
I think that's big signage. We're going to move on to some other callers. One United Nation.
Appreciate
very much
it.
coming on. Russell, my brother, thank you for coming on. Indiana as well, my man. Contributions as always. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very, very much. We're going to throw some more callers on. I know people are waiting in the background. But what he said there, though, Russell said, I think is very, very true. If we brought in Thiago, Van der Beek is almost done, and Sancho comes in, those 3 signings, we can win the league. We can win the league with that.
Nah.
I'm skeptical. I don't think so.
I'm with
I reckon we
Flawless.
can challenge though. I think we can challenge to win, but challenge. I just think obviously our defensive issues are still there. You know, I don't rate the manager like that.
I think a big.
They're the obstacles.
I think a big.
We still fix. Go on.
Hold on. I think a big point that one United man made, and something we haven't really paid attention, and it's been reported widely, is that Ollie stepped in on this deal for Van de Beek. Apparently, Ollie was like one of the was just like, this has to get done. And I think people have been talking about pulling power and the gaffer or whatnot. It seems like he had a big part in this deal. So for me, I think if we finally can get out of this cycle that we've been in for what?
Oh,
lost his signal there. Cam.
Oh, what I'm trying to say here, he's showing some balls, standing up to the board and saying, you need to get these deals done. I got to rate him.
Well, I think on that, but we spoke about him getting involved. I think it's also something to do with the fact that him and his signal's really gone. Oh, he's back. I think it's more to do with as well with Ollie knowing Edwin van der Sar, and it just makes sense rather than sending in Matt Judge, who may not have any knowledge of Edwin van der Sar. You let the manager go and do it, who's friends with him. And I think this is, like for instance, Petr Cech is a key decision maker now at Chelsea. If Arsenal wanted to go and sign, if Arteta and Petr Cech know each other, it's like, do you know what? Rather than the money man at Arsenal having the conversation, send in Arteta to have a chat because they're friends. They've all played together. I think this is where you need to utilize your football knowledge within a team as an example. But look, the reason I look at this is I get there are still some defensive frailties at Manchester United, but I think when I say we can win the title, do I think we'll become better than City or better than Liverpool by signing those players? Maybe, maybe not. But probably not. However, we don't know how good those teams are going to be. And this is why I want us to aim for the stars if we sign these players. If we could achieve I think we could achieve 85 points next year. I also think 85 points may be enough to win the league. If you don't know how good or how bad Man City or Chelsea are going to be, if we set our stall out at the beginning of the season as a football club and say we're happy to finish sensibly in fourth, who knows where those other teams might be come Christmas. But if we don't go in with the mentality to win it, we might be too far behind to even capitalize on any of their mistakes. That's what I want us to do. Now, if we also sound a defender with those levels as well, yeah, that could work for us. But I don't think we're this million miles away like people feel. Sometimes it's just those two. Look how much more we improved. If we were, an example I give you, from January to the end of the season, we were the best team in the league by 5 points. If we keep that form all season, yes, Liverpool and City might improve and be better than us, but we have a chance of doing something. In my opinion, because of the points we'll accumulate. For me, I just try and look at it from a logical sense as opposed to what may or may not happen. And I think Liverpool may have a dip if they don't sign anybody, and they're saying they're not going to sign anybody at the moment. Thiago may happen. Man City knows. But from my point of view, if we sign, and I reiterate those words, I did say if we sign Thiago, Van der Beek, and Sancho, which also means Liverpool don't get Thiago. So we have to throw all that into consideration. If we don't, then I'll reassess my position. But those three could help title next year.
Yeah, I think even if the whole scenario happened, for me, and I've said this before, I think Ollie's ceiling, he's just about to hit it. And I think Ollie has done a great job in transitioning from the mess we had under Jose to the squad and the club kind of culture that we got now. And I think that's what his role was supposed to be. And I feel like as a manager, his ceiling is hitting, and it might be a third or a surprise second, but I'm not too sure if Ollie would be the guy to take us over the line. So that's what I'm just thinking about. I'm thinking, even if
we got to give him a chance, we got to give him a chance. We got to see what happens when he gets those players.
This is what this season's about, though. Like we're giving the players. I'm just saying from now, I'm not too sure if his ceiling's been hit or not, or if there's like any further that he can go.
I want to see because I think like Terry said, since January, and a lot of people have been saying this, and there's this one man on Skype earlier when I was watching the show, and he made a damn good point. He's like, we need to stop talking like we shouldn't be contending next year. And the reason he's saying it is like, listen, if Sancho comes in, if we had Bruno all year last year, and Pogba doesn't miss the whole year, and Martial doesn't miss all that time, he's like, Man United's in the race. He's like, based on what happened when Bruno came. And that's actually that was a Liverpool fan. That's an assessment he was making based on the fact that what happened when Bruno came in. So now, if what Terry's saying, if we do get the Thiago, if we do get we got to talk about, like, Ollie does have that opportunity now because he's going to have all those players. And look what he did. As soon as Bruno came in, all of a sudden the team was flying. And it's like, We got to put some respect on him, and I get it. The players are the players, and they're good players. I get that, but
here's the thing with that, though. Of course, like I said, I think winning it, I think that's a bit of a stretch. Challenging, yes, being in the race because we are, but yes, United were great after lockdown happened, but we forget Liverpool did fall off.
Wait,
all we got to do is challenge, though.
Sam.
We got to challenge, bro. That's the way I look at it.
I'm saying
we got to challenge.
I'm saying challenge.
Sam, what are you doing?
Yeah, Sam's got a shade. You're talking about
guys.
See, Prime is yeah. But like I was saying, yeah, we are banking on City being that bad again and Liverpool falling off because they're two teams who are ahead of us. So we're banking for United to win a league title. This next one coming up, even if we sign the 3 players Terry mentioned, they would have to. Both of them would have to have bad seasons. I can't see if Liverpool are at 100% or City are at 100%. We're not winning a league title.
Maybe, and that's where the coming. I commented a minute ago. So there's lots of ifs here. But that's the point. That's the whole point of the transfer window and pre-season. Everything is an if, it's a but, is a maybe. If this happened, if that done that, that's the point of being a football fan. And like I've said, if we make those 3 signings, and you take into considerations about what I've said, that if we make those 3 signings, that means Liverpool don't get their main guy. I think Liverpool will really struggle. City, we don't quite know who they're getting yet. We have a chance of winning the league. But it's not just about us improving. It's about those other teams dipping. And I think that's more the point I'm pulling on. People have this belief that Liverpool and or City are going to do these high 90 points again. KJ, they're off-putting trying to talk when you're laughing. What's going on?
I'm just looking at Sam. I'm sorry.
He's coming in with the prime glasses there, doing his thing, bro.
Ray-Bans.
And there we go.
Sam, you were twerking for DT. Get your own thing, man. Stop.
There we go. Sam weren't twerking with DT. He's an Arsenal fan. He loves him. It is what it is. But listen, I'll stand by what I say. If we sign those 3 players, Man United can win the league next year. Of course, the proof is always going to be in the pudding. And it isn't just about us. I say we don't have this notion that we have to get nearly 100 points to win the league. Is crazy. Everyone's on 0 points right now. People got to realize we're not 30 odd points, 40 odd points behind Liverpool. We're level. Part of it is how good they're going to be. And as things stand right now, I'm losing confidence daily in how good Liverpool are going to be next year. But equally, if they pull out 2 or 3 good signings, my opinion snap changes. What I say at the end of the transfer window will sound very, very different from now. But listen, I'm infused by what we're bringing in. And I don't know who made the point. It might be Cameron about us this season. If Pogba would have been fit all year and we signed Bruno at the beginning of the campaign, we'd have made top 4 easy. I think we'd have finished 10, 12, 15 points clear in that top 4 position. We just lack creativity for the majority of the campaign, as an example. But it's going to be interesting to see how these boys pick things up. Sam's obviously another neutral as an Arsenal fan. Came on at the beginning of the stream. He's back on again now. Are you still feeling nervous as an Arsenal fan now that United are making some massive, massive waves?
Yep, because listen, United are already better than us already, and you're adding more fuel to the fire with Van der Beek and possibly Sancho. And listen, that mountain behind United is getting bigger and bigger each time. So
keep speaking it, Samuel. Keep going, bro. I'm
being real, because if we don't invest in, because listen, if we're interested in the party in Aurora, but only see one of them happening.
If we get our targets, sorry, can you go?
Wasn't Arsenal the 2nd best team since the restart in the Prem though? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think we're third best.
Based on points, I think you'd either we're up there though. So I'm saying, I still think the gap's there. But if you guys get Partey and you get your signs,
do you know who was 2nd in that form table? So United were 1st, Arsenal was 3rd. Who was the 2nd team?
Liverpool.
Yes, sir. This is what I'm saying.
Sorry.
But then it becomes about studying the game, and it becomes about performance, and that's the point that Drifty from the Kopish was talking about, that the performances from Liverpool weren't quite there, and it was like scrappy and scrapey, where what you saw with Man United and where we started to struggle towards the end of the lockdown games that's where we need, and this is why I'm confident. It was because we didn't have the depth coming on. Can you imagine in those games where we looked tired? Can you imagine against Seville? Can you imagine against Norwich in the Cup where we were struggling? Can you imagine against West Ham or Southampton when we drew? If we could have brought on Van der Beek, Thiago, and Sancho, does anybody really think the results wouldn't have been different potentially? And that's where I think there's a fundamental difference between us buying these and suddenly having and I look at Chelsea. If you go back and look at Chelsea's whole season and look at the games where they drop points, I would say 80% of those games, they win additional points in with the current squad they've got versus last year, because you just got better strikers now, better creators, and a better midfield. And yes, it's going to maybe take time for 6-7 players to kind of gel and get to know each other. And that's the hope as a Man United fan, that you don't, that it goes a little wrong and we can banter you. But it's just going to be a peak season. Do you know what I mean? And we need to get probably everyone on here streaming with glasses on, if I'm being honest.
Sam, I've got a question for you.
Definitely something we need to do.
Oh, but when I do it, it's ridiculous. Okay.
No one said it. We asked you to put it on, bro.
Prime.
No. Okay. Cool. What?
So who's got a question for Sam? Someone said they got a question for Sam.
It's me. I said, you know, Arsenal fans, yeah, they're all happy with the Willian rejected Chelsea for Arsenal, or Gabriel rejected Man United for Arsenal. If we complete all our transfers this window, are you man still saying that?
No, 100% not. Because listen, if you hijack party, we're finished. Honestly, we're finished, because I can see United coming with a sneaky thing for party, because we're longing it out. Like, it's just 50
hold
million.
on. You said hijack.
I hope so.
You said hijack party.
I hope so.
But are you not favourites for him? How's the hijack?
Yeah, I know.
No, he's talking about United. He's talking about United.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The thing is, I mean, our fans, Willian is a good player and all, but don't make him like he's Messi. He's not the second coming of Jesus. He's just Willian. Not another Henry. It's just Willian. We just signed him for depth, in my opinion, and he can come off the bench in the 70th minute.
Yo, Samuel, where's this Community Shield gas gone? I thought you would be coming here and fire shots at all this. What's happening?
We've won the Community Shield before, and we've had a crap season. Like in Wenger's final season, we won the Community Shield, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, we're gonna."
No, we need to do. We need to get DT on, and then we'll see Sam back his team.
Well, hopefully, DT. I've got to reach out to him about the show, but yeah, DT will be on in the day or so again as usual. Remember, Tuesday evening, that Chelsea show is on, of course, hosted by the wonderful Anita. Next Sunday, when he's back in the country, the first of the new Man United podcast will begin with Aaron as the main host. So make sure you are tuning in for that as well. Someone says, Terry, where's the laugh? Something funny's got to be said for the laugh, bro. Like, I can't just laugh. It's not fake. It's a real laugh. Something funny needs to happen. Franklin here says, why is it gone so quiet on Sancho? Reckon that's dead. And you're using that money to buy Van der Beek. Many.
Sancho's on.
No, don't worry, man. Sancho's incoming.
Man.
Terry, why do they think everything about you is fake? The laugh, the ITK page is yours. Everything about you, they just think is fake.
Bruv, listen.
Are you really bold, Terry?
Can I tell you something? Right, when
are you even bold? Are you lying?
It's pathetic. Yeah, we're like it's not real. It's not real, bro. I fake it. What I do is I use like a Bic razor to make the back Bic bald. Like I'm having the electric chair. It's all fake. The whole thing's fake. What's interesting about you saying that, Prime? When I moved to Essex from East London, I went, like you tell stories about what you've been through, whatever you've done. And when I was doing my martial arts stuff, I was like going to the British and European World Championships and stuff. And I remember telling people, and even when I was quite young, I worked with this very small, low budget, like short movie that was being made, filmed in the area. Like we worked on, and I got to school and I'd tell like what I considered to be my friends at the time, what I was doing. Oh, I was on this film set the weekend. I was doing this. It was great. I'm going to this tournament. I'm into this country or whatever. My nickname for about a year at school was, because it was karate based, was Sensei Bullshit, right? And looking back, it's a funny name. But the irony in it was when suddenly I started winning these major titles and I was in the papers, and then one of my friends, who was one of the guys that called me, joined he walked in through the doors of the kickboxing club to join, not knowing it's the one I went to, and saw me there, saw like pictures of me and other guys up with our trophies. I remember him coming to school, and I remember hearing it at the back of the class. He was like, we said that Terry's been bullshit about all this stuff he's been doing. He was like, yeah, he goes, it's all true. And I remember like, since the kid, I was like, damn right, true. But all I did then was just, and they all come up to me, I was like, oh, sorry. I was just like, cool, not a problem. Because I knew I was telling the truth. It didn't really matter that they were lying about me. As I said to KJ the other day, my biggest hindrance when people lie about me are the authorities that can prove they're lying, allowing it to happen. So someone lying about me isn't really the issue. It's when I go to Twitter directly and say, you clearly know these two people are not me based on IP addresses, login information, and everything else that goes with it. You probably even got sophisticated enough algorithms to know how I type and how I spell things versus this person to know it's someone different. I'm sure those things exist. Like I said, so that was what annoyed me. Someone calling me a fake laugh.
Yo,
Who cares?
Terry.
When you boys are around me and the cameras are off and you hear me laugh, you'll be the one. You'll be screeching like this, going, "Why is that guy laughing?" It's how I am. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yo, Terry, how I used to deal with men who used to talk about my martial arts being nonsense or BS. Hit him with the sidekick real quick. That's it. That's it. You let me know if that was fake.
I had all my friends over, like a few friends of mine over from America and Canada, that were staying at my house. And I remember telling my friends, I was like, I got friends coming from the States, from Team USA and Team Canada coming to stay, right? And again, it was like, you're lying. You don't know anyone from America. And I was out with them. I don't know where we were going. And my mates saw me and they were like, oh, where are you guys going? I was like, going back to mine. They were going to a house party. And they saw we had a little chat with them and there was 2 or 3 girls there. I could tell some of the guys I knew at school, they were a bit like, oh, they're nice. That's cool. They don't want to come with us. And I'm like, no, we didn't. I remember one of them shouted at us, no, but you're the ones that be spreading rumors about Terry, right? That he didn't know us and we weren't really coming. And he was bullshitting. They were like, oh, we're only joking. And my guy, Daniel, there was just like, I don't know what he said worth wording. He just aired them off and said, we ain't going to know with you fools. You're fake. We're off type thing. And I was like, it was kind of a nice moment because this guy was a little bit older. He was about 17, 18. We were a little bit younger. But that's just it. You just got the thing is, and a lot of you youngsters listening who may get accused of these things, just allow it. Like at the end of the day, if you know you're telling the truth, there's nothing to be like. People said I was rattled the other day, and KJ was speaking to me on the phone. I wasn't screaming, panicking, crying. It was more just,
It's more like a bawl. It's more like a wailing noise. Like that just went through my ears. It was terrible, guys.
Yeah. Did you ever see that video that went viral on socials where the black dude's talking and he suddenly goes, that was me on the phone. That guy passed away, R.I.P. him.
No.
I heard that. I don't know. You never know if these things are true. There was a TV show growing up called Keenan and Kel. And for years, the rumor was that Kel from Keenan and Kel was dead, and he's still alive now. I don't know why. That rumor was just every 6 months that rumor got pushed around that he died. You never know if these things are quite true. But there we go. Let's see some more of these questions. Super chats, get them in. Will City focus on the Premier League, or will they try and put more focus on winning the Champions League? Both. For me, it's got to be both. They spend too much money to be allowed to only focus on one. Like they can't be focused on just one.
It's got to be both.
It's got to be both. It has to be both.
If they don't win the Premier League this season, Pep's gone. In my opinion, because
no,
I can see him going if they don't win the Premier League.
Speak it, Samuel. Speak it.
He's not going to stay if he's failed.
Yeah, Samuel. Can I just say this? You better hope Pep doesn't go because Arteta will be top 3 on that list.
He won't go City.
Why not?
What list? Wait. Hold up. What list are you talking about, Prime? What list?
The short list for the City show. If Arteta is really this done of a manager, why won't he be on the list?
No, it'd be Poch.
Actually, can we talk about Poch? Can we talk about him for a sec?
What about?
What's happened with my man? Because there's been big jobs available, and no one's gone for him. Juve didn't go for him. Barca didn't go for him.
So I think they did because Juve was in talks for him. Barca. I think Poch has a specific way he wants to run a team now. He got the runaround in Tottenham, and I think Poch is taking a look, being like, listen, the next job I go into, and this is why I think he wants the Man United job, because he knows if he comes here, like, look at what we're doing with Ollie. It looks like Ed Woodward is kind of, and I'm being honest, from looking from the outside looking in, it does look like he's getting kind of pushed aside a bit in the sense of what the manager wants. They're getting. We're not going after these crazy Galactico signings. We're not doing the crazy shit we used to do in the past. So it seems like Ollie has that kind of sway. Poch to Juventus, I'm telling you right now, Poch probably wanted things that they weren't willing to give him. They gave Pirlo a 2-year deal, and he probably wanted longer. He probably was looking at certain players. He looks at that squad. If you look at the Juventus team right now, and I follow Italian soccer because a lot of my boys are Italian up here, and they're big fans of the Italian league. Serie A. If you look at that Juventus team, there's a lot of old players on that team. Poch likes to restart. He likes to have youth. He likes to build a team. So if you're going to go to Juventus, you can't do that. You're not going to be able to do that. Barcelona, how? And and at the end of the day, it would destroy everything he built with Espanyol. Everything. Wait. He's such a legend, dog. You cannot, he would literally be taking a flamethrower to his entire Espanyol legacy. So I think he did come out and twerk a bit, seeing you never know what's going to happen in the future. But I think it's both sides. Like, we would never consider Gerrard. as a united fan base, we would never allow that. Like, we couldn't allow that. Ed couldn't even look at him. So I think the same thing happened at Barcelona, where they're like, listen, even though Poch is there, we can't really.
I think Barca wanted him. I think like you said, I think Poch more rejected him. But in your comment in terms of you can't rebuild at Juve with it. Why can't they? They're about to get rid of Higuain and Khedira.
Pirlo's rebuilding.
They're spending but because you have Ronaldo's wages there, where they had to do that weird whatever they did with the Artur Pjanic deal, that was to like get them under financial fair play. They're trying to show a profit. I have to go look it up, but it was a really weird scheme they pulled off there. They're in trouble financially in the sense where they've got a guy coming in already, that Swiss player who's really nice, and they don't have funds to kind of rebuild.
They've got Weston McKennie coming in as well, don't they?
True.
They've got him.
But like, if you look at what I think, I just truly look at that. I look at that job and I look at the project, and I think two things happened there. Juve got scared of bringing in another high-profile manager. One, I think a lot of teams are looking at their past legends. Pirlo, they're giving a shot. I think it's a little early. Personally, and I'm going to say this, I'm an Ollie in guy. I'm an Ollie backer. But for us, this is the best case scenario. Because if Ollie doesn't provide, if he doesn't show up, the manager's there for us.
I'm saying Julian.
You're Nagelsmann.
Yeah,
I know. But I think what happened with Poch is he just wants more than what these teams are going to offer him right now, and he's never won anything, and that's another thing.
That's true. But what I would also look at is the kind of squad we're building. If Ollie doesn't, if this is the thing, it's just great. If we get a really good squad and we don't progress significantly under Ollie, even though I love Ollie, you'll then maybe look at it and go, he's had the 2.5 years. We kind of hit this ceiling. It should be better. You can't then move on. Whoever comes in is taking over a squad that's still got 2 or 3 years until it probably hits its peak as a collective number. So you're in that really good position. I'm going to throw a couple of calls before we end this. We're going to go to Assad Mia, who's with us, and we've got Melvin that's with us as well. Assad, what do you want to say, bro?
Can you hear me first?
Perfect, bro. Perfect.
I want to say I think Van der Beek is going to do really well for United. Definitely improve the depth. If Pogba's not quite at it, he'll step in. I know he'll step in, definitely. And that was it, really. I just think Van der Beek, great signing. I think we will get Sancho. We might have to wait a bit, but at this point, I don't really care as long as we get him, and I think we will get him. And also, a lot of Man United fans say we need a centre-back. I think we can go another year with Lindelof and Maguire. Personally, I think we can go another year with them, and then next year get another centre back. Personally,
that makes sense. Melvin, what you saying, bro? Melvin, you gonna? No, he's gone. Eye test is doing this. Eye test is back. What you saying, bro?
Yes. So for me, I think this is a good deal, but the reason I'm not happy is because I think this is the only deal the Glazers will do. The Glazers are jokers. Like, for me, the way they run the club, it looks like, for me, their goal is to get top 4, and they're happy with it. Their goal isn't to win the league. Their goal isn't to win the Champions League, because we saw with Jose Mourinho, yeah, in the first summer they spent big. They got Zlatan Ibrahimovic, they got Paul Pogba, they got Henrik Mkhitaryan, they got Eric Bailly. Yeah, and then in the next summer, I think we only got Matic, and I think Lukaku also came in that.
Lukaku
Lindelof. And then the summer after that, it was even less.
Yeah, that was Fred. That was Fred and Brandon below.
So same with Louis van Gaal. The investment got less as soon as we got into the Champions League. So I think with the Glazers, I won't be surprised if this is the only deal they make with Donny van der Beek. I'm like, I talked to you earlier before Terry, yeah, and about Abramovich and the Glazers. Like, Abramovich is a real winner. I think his goal is to get Chelsea back to the top. You're seeing how he's investing, even though they got a Champions League spot. His goal isn't to get just Champions League. So his goal is to make Chelsea better.
On that, we don't need
the Glazers.
Eye test. We don't.
It's just to make Chelsea.
Eye test. We don't need to go over old ground here. I'll stand by what I've said. You need to build a culture and a process and a system and a philosophy at a club at the moment the era is going into. And the two best teams in England over the last couple of years, City and Liverpool, have done that over the last sort of decade or so, with City leading to where they are now. And of course, Liverpool under SFG have built to this point. The only time for me, the way Roman is going to work again, where Chelsea will become the most dominant side in England, or one of the most dominant. Remember, he's been there for his first 8 years versus his last 8 years. The number of trophies is almost halved, and the number of large trophies has also halved. Let me finish my point on this. I'm not saying he's a bad man. He certainly invests. There is absolutely no doubt about that whatsoever. But what I also know with Roman, and well, let me finish talking. And what I also know about Roman, which would be my concern to have him at my club, is if Lampard has an average season this year, doesn't progress as quickly as he wants, he could sack him, and then it becomes a case of reinvesting all over again. And I don't want Man United to be in that space. What I want to, and that's why I'm not saying what sounds wrong about Man United's ambitions, but for me, I'm going to wait and hold judgment, because we're behaving different under Oli. We've actually, other than we didn't do it with Moyes, LVG and Jose, where we've changed who negotiates the contracts versus who makes the footballing decisions about who comes in. Remember, it was Woodward and Judge that were saying no to the scouts and to the managers around who they could and couldn't sell. That has been removed from our process. For example, we spent enough money. Now, by the way, yes, we've taken over £1 billion out of the club since the Glazers have been there, and I don't like that. But we dropped 800 to 900, over £900 million has been spent by the Glazers since Fergie retired. If we had football brains making the right footballing decisions, we had one clear goal as a club and a culture that remained through that whole time period, and we were signing players that fit the process, as opposed to going through 4 different managers with 4 different philosophies over a 7-year period. I don't think the money spent would have been as big a failure as it has been. Do they want to win the league, and do they want to remain? I get the conspiracy theory that they don't want to go above and beyond the Champions League. But for me, it's a conspiracy theory as opposed to being true. We will run poorly over that 7-year period as opposed to not wanting to be successful. And I think that's where people get you're confusing the issue. It's just we didn't have a clear goal and direction, and it led to us always treading water as opposed to making headway. And Ollie is fixing that, which is why I've said it's my opinion halfway through the season of sacking him was wrong, because you need him to finish that rebuild before any manager can become successful at that club. KJ, you want to say something? Go on, bruv.
No, it's just a question to eye test. Obviously you clearly have you felt betrayed, and you don't really trust the club. Am I correct? You don't really trust the club anymore in terms of transfers and stuff, right?
No, I don't trust the Glazers.
All right, yeah.
Nah.
And neither do I. Them men are pagans, fam. But what would it take for you to like not trust the Glazers or the club, or like believe in the club when it comes into the transfer window again? What would it take for that to happen?
Well, first of all, I want them to be ruthless with Ed Woodward. Yeah, tell him to get out of here, get out of the club, and actually get a director of football.
Stop already. I'm going to have to shut you down because it's nonsense. They're not going to get him at the club because the commercial deals that he has pulled off for Man United since he's been in charge have given us the finances to be able to compete with the state-owned football clubs first and foremost. So stop that talk. The director of football role.
Okay, let me change my statement then. Let me change what I'm saying. What I want is for them to tell him, you're not making any footballing decisions. You're not going to decide who we're going to buy or any of that. I think we need to. They need to be.
Already happened. What are you talking about?
It hasn't, because
it has. It's already been announced. Listen, stop talking for it, please. I'm sorry. This got spoken about on this show during lockdown. The article came out that Ed Woodward and Matt Judge are no longer in charge of the process of making football decisions at the club. I'm going to dig the article out and do another stream on it. It no longer happens. There is a committee of football minds, including Ollie and the chief scouts. The football minds at the club decide on who they are and are not going to sign. The commercial team, which includes Woodward, decide on what the finances are available. That's how it runs. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and sorry to add to that. Sorry, I test.
So ask the question: who makes the decisions on who the managers are? Does Woodward still decide whether he wants to sack Oli or keep Oli? Because that's a footballing decision.
That's the board. That's the board. But hold on. That's the board decision. But hold on. You said that Jose, like you went through the Jose thing, saying how like, oh, we stopped backing him. I think they lost trust in him because Jose came out and even said, he's like, well, Pep got it wrong with a few of his center backs, and he kept getting more investment. Jose wanted to replace Bailly right after getting him, wanted to replace Henrik Mkhitaryan right after spending on him. And I think the board looked at that and were like, hold on a second, you just want us to give you infinite money until you get it right, which they didn't want to do. Because they did give him the backing at the end of the day. When you think about the amount of money Jose spent, he got back. The only year he didn't get back was that last year where he wanted Alderweireld, and he was very loud about that. And let's be honest, look at Alderweireld right now. He's not really doing much. Where he was adamant on getting a few guys out of the club and getting new center backs in. And then he started saying, look at these other managers who made mistakes in the market. He wanted to sign Perisic. I'm sorry. The board kind of was right on it. He wanted to replace Martial with Perisic. Like that, if you're looking at that from outside looking in, as somebody who doesn't really even, like, for me, I understand, like I watch and I follow heavily. When they were talking about replacing Martial with Perisic, that was criminal. That was very much negative football.
For me, with
that was criminal.
If you hire a manager, no matter what he says, you have to you hired that manager. If he wants to get rid of Martial and get Perisic, you have to let him do that because you hired him.
Mate,
I'm not saying I would have done that.
And you're right in that, and you're right in that to an extent. The problem, and this is where you've got to understand, this is where the things have been changed. Ollie can buy and sell who the hell he wants now. And this has been spoken about. I'm going to go and dig the articles out because I don't remember where they are off the top of my hand. And a lot of what you're saying has happened. The problem is, because it doesn't make good news for Man United to show that they've made these changes. This news didn't circulate particularly well, but I did a show talking about it. I did a full show. I'll dig the video out and repost it if you need me to. This stuff has been addressed by Man United, and it's one of the reasons I started having even more faith in the club going forward. Man United looked at it, and I'm reading an article here. It says Man United no longer want to appoint a director of football despite LinkedIn numbers. Man United were reportedly now reported in the Athletic claims that such a precise role is no longer on the agenda anymore, as Man United do not seek a guru to lead the signings. I'm just reading through this. The relationship between the chief executive Woodward and Ollie is described as vital. Woodward remains trusted by the Glazers. And I'm just trying to get to the point. That's what it was. It was an article in the Athletic, and they simply break down the process. And I'll find it and go through it in more detail. So I apologize, I haven't got that right now. But they speak about the structure and how it's been rejigged under Ollie. So it's the lead scouts and it's the football men and Ollie that make the decisions on who. It then becomes the club's decision, the board's decision on will we sanction it or not. But what they don't do is say, no, you can't. They say you can have £80 million. They're no longer saying, but we don't want you to sign your number one. You're going to sign our number one. That's where the club were going wrong. I believe that's been changed. I really, really do believe that has been changed by the club. And that's why we've seen more success in the signings that we've made under Ollie so far. So everything you've said, by the way, do I want the Glazers to own my football club? No, not for another day do I want them here. But this conspiracy theory that they're just happy with fourth, I don't believe it. I don't believe you spend
it's evident through the years.
It's not evident.
Yeah, but it is because whenever we get Champions League football, they invest less.
How is it invest
less. Obviously, it's evident. It's evident because whenever we're in the Champions League, we spend less than when we're not.
You are conflating two separate issues. You are conflating the fact that they jump ship from manager to manager each and every single time you go through a little bit of a rocky road. They've already done it different with this manager. But when he was going through that torrid time between September and Christmas, they didn't sack him. They've done that every other time. And then what they did wrong is they went to a completely different manager with a completely new philosophy. They didn't know what they were doing. They had non-footballing brains making footballing decisions up and down, and they're addressing that issue. Do they want to win the league? Of course they want to win the league. Do I want them to stop taking money out of the club? Absolutely. You don't spend nearly £1 billion on players if you have no want to win. The amount of money we've spent, we should be much better than we are. That can't be denied. It can't be. But I think people are just
you say it's not evident, but let me ask you a question then. Why, for example, whenever we're not in a Champions League, they spend more than when we are? And when Jose Mourinho finished second in the league with Manchester United, yeah, and he wanted to push on, recruit some more players to push for the league, they didn't back him. Why now in Ollie's second season, when he finally got Champions League football and he wants to push on, they don't want to spend? Same with Louis van Gaal. When he got Champions League football, they invested even less. So how can you say it's not evident that they stop investing and when we get Champions League football?
I just want to counter your question with another question. At the start of like Jose's reign, we brought in Pogba, Zlatan, Bailly, all these things. And then we got Champions. We didn't get Champions League. No, we did through the Europa League. Got Champions Football. Invested again. Now his second season investment was pretty good. Lukaku, Matic, Lindelof. They were expensive players. Especially Lukaku. Lukaku was very
And then
expensive.
the third season, we
Cool.
got second, and we went to
Let man finish. Let man finish.
And then you got second, which is cool. Now, if you're a team that came in second, do you believe that you always must buy 5 more players to win the league? Or is it more of, as a collective, you think you're closer than you are, so instead of adding 5 players, you add 2 into that?
That's exact. I was thinking the exact same thing this whole time.
And I made this point before. I want Man United to go big this summer, right? And we may still do that. And the reason, if we bring in Van der Beek, I'm going to throw Thomas Partey's name out there, and we bring in Sancho, and we go to that next level. We don't quite win the league, but go to that next level. We look banging. We don't need to bring in 4 or 5 players the next summer. We might just need 1 more individual. So you shouldn't have to. If Ollie then messes it up when we only bring 1 more player in, that isn't the club not back. You don't need to drop 150 million, 200 million every single summer to keep progressing. That tells me that you bought wrong the year before. If you keep having to invest every single year, it should be at one point. It's like Liverpool. Liverpool didn't need to spend money last summer to go from nearly winning the league to winning the league because their squad was already brilliant with what they spent the year before. They might need to do a little bit of investment now to keep themselves at the top, but they don't need to be going out and buying the volume of players they did between when Van Dijk signed and the end of that summer because they've got that core. What they need to do is maybe 1 player in to really freshen it up and then a couple of talented youngsters who could be the guys to follow through when some of these guys get a little bit older. You don't need to do that eye test. And listen, I don't like the Glazers at Manchester United. Has Woodward done a bad job on a footballing base? Has Woodward done a bad job? And I want you to ask my questions here. He's done a bad job on a footballing basis over the course of the last 7 years. But I don't see how that equates to they don't want to win titles. That's a conspiracy theory. That's Alex Jones level conspiracy, bro. It really is. I appreciate your opinions on that. I really, really do. But as far as I'm aware, I'm going to find that article in the video I did. I'm going to have to do some research and drag it out of the internet.
I test. You are right. Screw the Glazers, fam, because they're pagans, fam. And Ed Woodward, man, we need to check my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I back that though. I back that.
Should you not sack a manager as soon as you stop believing in him?
But there are also the elements of mistakes they made. You know, we were flirting with Jose from the December to the end of the season. How was that going to help Van der Sar? You know, we pretty much decided we weren't going to back Jose 3 months after giving him a new contract. And even that was that's a mistake. They've made loads of mistakes. But do you think they don't want to win the league? It's crazy. It's absolutely.
Listen, I'm not saying. Listen. Let me clarify what I'm saying. Obviously they want to win the league, but they don't care too much. Like for example, I'll bring it back to when we were second. Yeah, they didn't push on to try and win the league. All they bought is Fred that summer. Obviously they want to win the league. That's obvious. But their main goal. Their main objective isn't really to win the league; it's to make money. That's what I'm trying to say.
Really?
Hang on.
Are you saying?
Sorry, Prime.
So business.
Sorry, Prime. But again, why you're taking that summer out of such context? Right? Yes, there was 2 things. One, they'd already fallen out of love with Jose. He's been sacked. Secondly, Jose didn't want Fred. Jose's been quite open and saying he wasn't the strike. They told him you either get Fred.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But listen to me then. Stop talking over me and listen to the points. You're literally getting yourself confused, brother. And it's really making me angry. I'm not even going to lie to you, right? At the end of the day, they told the manager no on who he wants. That's changed. Ollie now gets the players that he wants. That's what we want. So why do we need a director of football? For what reason?
So you're telling me, just from one summer, right, which was the last summer, you think the Glazers have changed just because you saw one summer where Oli got the signings he wanted, or Mourinho got the signings he wanted in the first summer as well. So did Louis van Gaal.
The first two.
Look at one summer, and then the second summer, it all changes. Look at this summer, for example. We're not spending as much. Second summer. Let
me answer the question because I've seen progression. For the first proper time since Fergie's been gone, I've seen our team progress this year. So I'm willing to keep.
I've also seen progression when we got Jose Mourinho. We got into the Champions League. We won the Europa League. Yeah, and then we invest. And then we started to invest less and less as we started to progress.
Yo, you keep confusing yourself, man. No. You're wrong, though.
We started to progress. It's true. We've
but
been
you're wrong,
progressing
dude.
with Louis Van Gaal as well. Then we stopped investing.
Sorry, but you're wrong. Sorry, you're wrong though. You said Jose didn't get backing after one summer. He got again Eric Bailly, Henrik Mkhitaryan, whether Pogba was his buy. Hold on, I'm not. Jesus Christ, I'm not even. Dude, I'm not done. Yeah, you said the first, but then you said the second. He didn't. Can I finish my point? No, can I finish my point? Can I finish? So my second point is, you said the first summer, the second summer. Who did he get? Romelu Lukaku. He wanted Romelu Lukaku. He made it clear. He went out and spent $80 million on a striker that he wanted for his system. Like, dog, he got the backing. I'm pretty sure he got somebody else in that summer too. So you're just talking out of your ass right now. You're saying he didn't get back. He did get back. And then
I'm sorry. Listen, high test. I've just looked at the facts here. His first summer, he got 166 million pounds spent on his squad, Jose. The second summer, he got 178. So they spent 12 million pounds the second year as opposed to the first year. So what are you talking about? You're wrong. Factually wrong.
Okay, what about the third summer when you got second and you wanted to push for the league? Why are you ignoring?
I test. And why wouldn't you say, if you drop it, I'm saying the same about Ollie, right? He had 166 million pound first season, 178 million pound the next season. By the time he's going into his third summer, why does he need another 3, 4, 5 players added to his team? Why does he need that? Jose should have had that team in a much better position by then, but he didn't. And by the way, we still spent nearly 80 million the following year. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to suggest that we didn't go big. And by the way, Ollie had 190 odd million pounds spent last summer. If we sign our targets this year, it will be another 150, 150.
And then that's it. We don't want to give him more money after that. And then that's it.
And then by the following summer, it should be maybe one additional player and we're ready. That's what should happen.
Go. It's been said. Here we go has been said, boys. Here we go has been said.
We got the here we go?
We got the here we go, boys.
Fabricio Romano.
We got the here we go, boys.
I mean, we knew it was happening.
Yeah, but it's the here we go, boys. This is what we're saying.
Hasn't updated my end. 1 sec.
Terry, I just tweeted you, Terry. I just tweeted you.
He's also on Instagram as well. The here we go, boys. Wait, where's our test gone? I was about to talk to him. About this whole thing.
Go.
Here we go, baby.
We don't need that energy.
Baby. He's a United player. It's done. Oh my God, I can't actually believe it. I can't believe it. But he's a Man United player. Here we go. It's all happened in 24 hours. It's happened inside 20.
And this is what I wanted to ask. Like, eye test. Like, is this now the start of changing your mind? Because if we've got Van der Beek, we have him now. If we secure the Sancho, the centre back, the left back, or whoever, that's two seasons in a row that he could have said that we've looked to invest and spend. So is this the start of Aritas changing his mind? Like,
guys, let me just say for a second, because lots of people I'm sorry I got so animated about that, but it frustrated me because people, they don't read the news that's out there. We need a director of football. They've literally, for 4 months ago, this was discussed, how United have restructured their but you know, it's how the conspiracy theorists ignore that bit of information because it doesn't suit the agenda. Do I like the Glazers? Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, probably not ever. But this notion that we don't spend is absolutely ludicrous. What we haven't done is manage the money right. That's the problem. But listen, Van der Beek is officially a Manchester United player. It is happening. Here we go. I can believe it. I can believe it. But it's amazing.
The speed is mad. That's what's got me. The speed is mad.
That was quick. That was 3 days.
That's the quickest deal I think we've seen
But hold on. If we're gonna hold on. We're all about being honest on this channel and fair. If we're gonna be honest, like, we did see the links way back when. It's the same as with the Ziyech thing where it kind of fell through. What I did read is that Ollie wanted Van de Beek in January. I read that, and when that report came out that we were looking, Ollie wanted him back then, but because the whole Real Madrid links were still a thing, we weren't an option. And Terry, you brought that up many times where everybody's like, why aren't we just going to get Van de Beek? Why? It's like, maybe at that time he had his eyes set on Real Madrid. Who know? Like we think just because a player is put on the market or available, we're going to get them every single time. What I got to give kudos to our team here, at least at United, what they did is they stayed in for him and they kept the lines open, and then they came back and they snatched him up as soon as it was available. Like they just boom, they're like, all right, cool. This is how much. This is all we need to do. He wants to come. So I hope the same kind of energy happens with the Sancho deal, where because it seems like the reports are conflicting and people are saying one thing or another and Ray. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is once those lines start opening up and a player truly comes out and is like, listen, because Sancho it might be in September and Sancho's just like, listen, guys, I've been quiet for a while. They're looking at other players. Can you guys just tell me, just accept the deal? So I that's what I think happened this time. I do think that we've been talking for a while, but I like how fast we closed it once we actually got serious.
Yeah, by the way, someone just sent me the link for the article. I thought it was in the Manchester Evening News on the 15th of April. I'm sure if you DM me, bro, I'll send you the link to that. Jesus Christ, what is that noise? That motorbike. I want us to know what that was. But look, Van der Beek is officially a Manchester United player, and I know we've already chatted about it loads tonight. We're 2 hours into this stream, but it's amazing news. Like we can't get away from that and deny that he's officially a Manchester United player. I am so excited and so happy about that, bro. Prime, why would you do that while I'm talking? What's up?
Oh, sorry.
Go on. What do we say though? Go on.
No, it's fine. Continue. It's fine.
No, it's cool because you got something to say. Say it.
No, I was just gonna. The comments are going. Just gonna ask what Avenger is he? That's why I said it's not important. It's fine.
He's
that's what I said. It's fine.
The feedback I've got on these shows recently, like people will be talking and something funny will happen. Everyone starts laughing, and it's like, is it to do with what's being spoken about? Because just keep stuff like moving. That's cool. Who Avenger we're giving him?
Machine, baby, let's go.
War Machine's what he's getting, but there we go. But he's now, I say officially a Man United player. He isn't holding the shirt up yet. But when you get here we go from this man, you know it's pretty much done and dusted in terms of that. But he's there now. Can you, Flawless, I want to come to you, bro. I know we spoke about it maybe 2 hours ago on this stream, but it's been done in 24 hours from the first being, as in terms of the leak being real and big, it's led to this. What's your initial thoughts on that, man?
Let's hope it's a change because we've done this deal expeditiously. So let's hope it's a change in our approach. And they have been working on stuff behind the scenes that we don't know about and get this deal done. Because this deal has been done so quick, efficiently, quality player. It seems that the price is not mammoth either. So it's like, I think everyone's happy. And like I keep saying, let's hope there's a domino effect now. Let's just hope it's not just Van der Beek. Like, I'm just going to call him Donny. Let's just hope it's not just Donny coming in. Hopefully there's more players to come. Hopefully there is a Sancho and there is a centre-back or a left-back.
Yeah, and do you know what? I want to say this as well, right? Just so anyone that's questioning, I need to focus in. I need to get in like really, really close to my thing here so that I don't. Why is that doing that to me? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen for a minute. I don't want to share too much of this of the direct messages. So this was sent to me at 20. If you can find a tweet saying the deal's done before 27 minutes past 7 this evening. This was the In the Know account direct message to me at this time. That's live feed now, right? That's the In the direct message. That's what he sent. I've been told it's done. Tweet coming at 8 p.m. That was at that time. This guy messaged me before any other journalist on the planet said that this deal was done. I just want to throw that out there, just so people know. That's the guy's account. Go follow the guy. It's not one of my accounts.
Let me go follow this guy right now. I'm going to go follow this guy.
This is he's put that out there. This is who it is. So he's put that out there. He said these things are official. See, look, man's talking about. Look at this.
Harrison
Reed to Fulham, done deal. Southampton
yesterday.
And then look, deal's being done. Wow. Deal's official, whatever it is. I don't know who these people are, right? But the point is, this guy is talking about Fulham deals, bruv. I don't know how big or who this guy is, but he's pulling things out. I wanted to shout the guy out because he's had a lot of stick recently on social media. Even got like barred for a day because people were reporting him for being a liar. Listen, I don't know. The guy seems credible as hell to me. But shout out to him in relation to that. But Van der Beek, man, I'm buzzing. I can't believe, literally, in the space of 4 or 5 hours, it's gone from maybe happening to actually happening. We did have David. I don't know where David's gone. I was about to say hello to David. Indiana's back with us. David's back as well. Just go to David first because obviously Indiana was on earlier. David, your reaction to Man United signing what is now, in my opinion, the third best midfielder in the league behind Pogba and Bruno, and the second best attacking midfielder behind Bruno, all at Man United. What are you saying, Dave?
Third best. From where?
From out of nowhere, RKO.
Out of nowhere. No, he's, as I said earlier, he's a really good player. Like I'm not going to talk bad about him. Obviously, he played against us both legs. Both legs, he was really good. So yeah.
Come on, that for me sounds like fear. You barely want to speak about it. Like he's not vulnerable. If you say his name, he's not going to appear and like spelling.
Candyman.
no, I said it earlier. I think he's a really good player. Like I just think he's a really good player.
Yo, Indiana. I'm taking what you said the other day. It's the calm before the sun. The lightning is coming. The thunder is coming, fam.
Yes.
Thor's hammer is about to
telling
smack down.
It's just started getting cloudy. It's just got the rain's gonna come. We're gonna get hailstones, thunder. Sancho's gonna be the lightning. It's gonna kick off. Trust me. And then January we're getting a striker, and that's when we're talking tornado season.
All this gas for a backup though. That's quite surprising.
Yo, fam, you expect a mount, bro. Man, better than half your bench, fam.
David,
I think.
David, I'm sorry he's not as good as Mason Mount. Sorry, innit? You like really reaching.
No. I've come on here and said myself.
Wait, flawless. Mason Mount. He's not a Miros.
He's good, but he's not good enough to be a starter. Like that, it's simple. It's quite simple.
No, that's my point. He's
and our backup is better than yours, fam.
Our squad is better than yours. So
You say that, but he can settle Pogba, man.
Hold on a sec. Our overall squad, I'm not talking about our overall squad, is better than yours.
I think they both got deficiencies, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It's close.
Yeah, but we can make like when you had the 5 subs things, you still weren't making subs. Like your manager don't trust in the rest of them. So now you've got one. We still
finished above you, even without making 5 subs.
And we still
and you should have finished above us with the squad that you had. So
wait, there was not that chat before the season started, though, was there, Dave? Let's not go there.
I was thinking we were finishing 8th.
There wasn't. Yo, listen, Dave. Don't come here with saying that United were expected to finish 3rd last season.
No. You were expected to finish above us.
I expected to finish 3rd.
Yeah, we know you said that. You're the only one, man.
Devil advocate. Okay, we know.
No, it's not devil advocate. I expected it. Don't get salty.
Anyway, it's fine. We're finishing above you this year, so you know. I've already said it's going to go City, Chelsea, Liverpool.
You've second.
United, but I think Spurs will surprise a couple of people. I finished quite close to mid.
Wait. Who do you think will finish second? You say Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Okay, so you got City finishing 1st, Chelsea 2nd. Who 3rd?
Liverpool.
3rd. Who 4th?
Yeah. United.
Who 4th? United. All right, someone please click this up. Please, somebody click this up. Somebody please edit and click this up.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna do it myself. Any other viewers that are tuning in, you can call in. The StreamYard link is in the description below. Everyone else that is also live with this right now, please smash the like button. Nearly 3,000 people tuning in. We're 2 hours into this podcast tonight on this. Is it a Sunday today? It is Sunday today, chatting about this. Some of the guys that have already been on the show tonight that are in the area, Sam and everybody else, we're going to move you out just so we can make some room because we can only have 10 people waiting backstage, which is really frustrating. Assad, from your point of view, mate, you've been sitting there a while now. The news has been confirmed since you called up. Where do you want the focus to be turned to next now that this deal is done and that this deal is over the line?
Next, it has to be right wing. For me, it has to be move on to Sancho, get that done quick, and then move on to wherever else they want to move on to. But I would say it has to be Sancho. We've had too long without a proper right winger, and we're so close to Sancho. I feel we're so close now. We just need to get
I hear that completely, bro. Mate, we're gonna take you out so we can get some other callers on. Sad, thank you. Oh, sorry, mate, I didn't come in and click it that quick. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you. I meant to say thank you to him. I've added Tom to the stream here. Tom, what do you want to say, bro? What's your point?
Yo, I was gonna talk about the Van der Beek deal.
Yes, bro.
I think it's actually a good signing. I think we just need a deep line playmaker.
Like who? Who would you like to see come in and do that?
maybe like a Thiago.
That'd be very nice. Do you think United could snatch him away from Liverpool?
I think if we get Thiago, I think we'll finish above Liverpool, hand down.
Wow.
Wow, so Liverpool in fourth now.
That's a
Wow.
big claim there from Tom.
No,
Thank you.
Chelsea in fourth, Liverpool third.
That is big. We've got Tony Smile up next. I like this. Tony Smile, what he's saying. By the way, Stretford92, thank you for signing up as an official gold member of the Football Terrace. Thank you. Tony Smile, what do you want to say, bro? Okay, Tony Smile's not talking. Next up, we've got Brody. Oh, he hasn't connected his camera or microphone yet, so we can't add him on. We're going to add in HSK. HSK, what you saying?
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Perfect, bro. What do you make of this Van der Beek signing?
Well, it's a great signing, to be honest. I'm lost for words. I can't find the words to describe what just happened. Like, this is not United that we're seeing right now. In a matter of 24 hours, everything just changed.
And
in
you know
regards to the player, of course, not in regards to the club as a whole. No disregard for, of course, like Woodward is just awful. Like honestly, it's just
and
the late,
bro.
Yeah.
This further proves the point I was making to eye test, and I think I got wound up by it. Mainly, if someone I have never spoke to before, like yourself, said something like I said, I'd treat with more respect. I test watches the show regularly, so he's seen me talk about this. He's seen me do these videos. He's seen me present this. This is why I'm back in the process right now. Ollie is the guy that's forcing these changes in how we're operating as a football club, and the culture is becoming better because this is a major deal that's been done very, very quickly. £35 million we're paying for him for a player valued at £40 million. And we've got it done under cloak and dagger. We've got it done in silence with nobody else really knowing it's going on. If it wasn't for the In The Know account tweeting about this first, nobody may know about this until now. This is the direction that Man United are going in under Ollie, and I think it's brilliant. In terms of the player, what level does he take Manchester United to, in your opinion, bro?
To be honest, he is still a bench player, in my opinion.
Okay,
pardon me, what were you going to say?
But what level does that take us to? Because it clearly improves the bench. What does that do for us as a team?
It helps us a lot. Like, Ollie has options. That's number one. You're not nervous when a player is not playing very well anymore. Like, if Bruno doesn't show up for one game, like we've got Van de Beek on the bench. He's going to do something instead of Bruno, let's say. Or if Pogba is not doing his best on the day, you bring in Van de Beek as well. So that makes a huge difference. Like, if not just Van de Beek, like if we got Thiago, for instance, what difference does that make? That's like a huge boost to our team. It makes a lot of. I'm sorry, like English is my second language, so I'm trying to find.
You're making more sense than most of the British phone up, mate. You actually are, bro. I appreciate you coming on the show and having your say. Thank you very much, Hussein. Thank you, my brother. Thank
Edwin
you
for DOF. Edwin
Next
Van der Sar for
show. Got Aryan. Sorry, what do you want to say, my guy?
Hey, how are you guys?
Perfect.
Yeah, so I'm actually really happy with the signing. I didn't expect this out of nowhere. 24 hours. It was just out of nowhere. I'm so gassed right now. Like, I've been waiting all summer for this, and everyone's been going on 2 weeks, and we're not going to sign anyone. And Van de Beek out of nowhere, I think this is going to start a domino effect. We're going to get Sancho in. Sancho's a done deal for me. The only reason the Van de Beek deal was able to happen was because I think Sancho's been signed. And
Yo, Aaron, Toronto, stand up.
yeah. And I'm just so happy right now, honestly, with Van de Beek. I think he goes straight into the starting 11. I don't know about you guys. I think Matic out. We change our style of play. We're moving to a 4-3-3. Van de Beek next to Pogba. They distribute their duties. One person, when we're attacking down the left, Van de Beek's the one who's attacking. Pogba has to hold back. When we're playing down the right, we have Pogba going. So it gives us so many options. We can also change to a diamond midfield with two up top if we need to, changing systems. Van de Beek completely transforms the side and takes us to the next level.
Terry said that earlier too. We actually talked about that earlier. We talked about the different formations we could play. I don't think that team could. I think we do that against the big teams, but against the smaller teams, I see that happening. I said it earlier. I agree
for sure.
with you.
Like for sure, like against the smaller teams, we can always play with a more attacking mindset now that we have someone like Van de Beek. But when we need to play corner attacking against someone like Man City or Liverpool, we can always bring back an experience like Matic, who can always hold the midfield for us when we need it in the crucial games. But otherwise, we always have when we're struggling to break down teams, when you need that extra power. We've tried to bring in Fred this season, and we've seen sometimes how he struggles, specifically post lockdown. He's been excellent this season, but like post lockdown, he's only had his good games the last couple of games in the Europa League. But otherwise, now we have Van de Beek who can come in and he can put pressure off Pogba, who's been trying to dig balls from the deep. Now we have Van de Beek who can do that as well.
Yeah, I think, mate, Indiana, you want to say something, bro?
Yeah, I agree a lot with a lot of what he's saying. But for me, what it does is give Pogba a bit more freedom. So Van de Beek coming in allows Pogba to play in a 3 if Ollie chose to do that. I don't think that's how I don't think that's gonna how we're gonna play a lot of the time, but it gives Pogba the option of a bit of freedom. I think he's held back a lot at United because of the players he's got around him. That freedom he had at Juve, outstanding, Terry. You know, I've said this 100 times. You have players like Pirlo around him and that whole Juve side. Pogba hasn't dipped in form. He's not a worse player. It's just the players that are around him, the style of play. If you give Pogba that freedom, a player like Donny van de Beek does the simple things very well. And he's probably the best player in midfield at doing those simple things since Roy Keane. Not in terms of tackles, but his simple things. The simple things he does very, very well. And you need that in a side. He's always the unsung hero for Ajax. He's always that. Just because he does the simple things well.
You know what you'll be able to see as well? I guarantee you this now, right? If you go and take a little look at like Chelsea accounts and Liverpool accounts and others, and just search Donny van de Beek's name, but go back to like the early stages of, say, the Champions League this year or the knockout stages of the Champions League last year. Go and look at what they were saying about him, and you'll see nothing but praise. All I saw on social media was universal praise for how talented this boy is. What you'll now see is an element of people wanting to play it down, say this and that. The other interesting thing I'd point out on this, and thank you very much for your call, by the way, is I said the other day it was going to take one big deal. It was going to take one moment in the transfer market, and I felt it was the Ben Chilwell deal that was going to kickstart everything. The first major deal to go through outside of a buyout clause would send things on, and you see Chilwell happen. You've seen Chelsea do 1 or 2. You see Man United now kick into gear. You're now going to start to see it move forward, and that's the benchmark. You'll look at a Van de Beek and teams, wait on a minute. And this is how this will work in favor of the big clubs now. If Van de Beek's worth £35 million with his quality, you ain't getting no 80 million for Declan Rice. No disrespect, you're not. And that's what you always need in a market, especially a volatile market that's gone through what we did with CV19. Is you need some of these deals to happen so prices can be set. You know, and I think that's what's really, really key. But Ian, thank you very much for calling in.
Can I just drop a quick?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I literally pressed the out button as you started saying that. I'm sorry, my guy. I really apologize.
Come back.
We've got Ford. Yeah, come back or we'll get you on. We've got Ford on here, not Fraud. Ford with us here. What's happening, my guy?
Hey, man.
What do you want to
good,
say?
everybody? In regards to Donny van de Beek, I really think the problem Manchester United have lately, it's not really Paul Pogba or Bruno Fernandes. I think it's in the holding midfield role and then the defense. Because looking at the attacking players we've got, they've actually been really good. In the game against Sevilla, we actually did what the attacking players needed to do, which is score first. Unfortunately enough for us, we got pegged back and then we lost the game on circumstances that we really shouldn't have. If the defensive players have actually done their job properly. Look at what Chelsea is doing. They are gradually putting a really, really good team out there that attacking-wise, they're really, really serious with what they're doing, and defensively, they're also very solid. And with Thiago Silva that they've gotten, it's going to really help them. We've got inconsistency in Harry Maguire. We've got Lindelof, who is also doing his thing. And we've got a midfield of Fred and Paul Pogba, who I think are like similar player to Donny van de Beek. Their better attributes are not in defensive, but in attacking, in the attacking side of the game. But not saying Donny van der Beek is not what Manchester United need, but I think in squad depth we lack that first team quality coming off the bench. Look at the Champions League final between PSG and Bayern Munich. Every single player Bayern Munich brought out from the bench was first team players that are in the bench. But if Manchester United go to the bench, who do we bring? Lingard. I know McTominay and stuff like that.
Do you know what,
So
Ford? You're absolutely bang on the money. And ITS has tweeted, like, put a message in the chat saying, "Oh, we signed a bench player and everyone's gassing for the Glazers." No one's twerking for the Glazers here. No one's saying Ed Woodward is a don. But you are right. This is a big signing for us because it's the bench that now needs improving from a midfield and attacking point of view. We already have one of the best midfields in the world with Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. It's about what's beyond that because it's a squad game now. And as you say, you look at Bayern Munich, look at their bench. PSG, look at their bench.
Look at the bench, yeah.
Chelsea have now created a big bench for themselves. And you're absolutely right. Listen, really appreciate your call, bro. We're going to jump on some others there. Well articulated, my guy. Thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate
I'm
that.
going to make some space as well for some others. Everyone, War Machine inbound, baby. Let's go.
All right,
we love to see it. See you guys later.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Cam, take care, bro. See you later, mate. Bye-bye. Thank you. So who we got coming on next here? We got Bryant in the house. Bryant's now back with us. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, you know, oh man, I'm excited about this again. You know, I said to you on Twitter, I was like, you know, I've been kind of calm about what how United have been kind of going about things this summer. I wasn't particularly worried, and I think that in the event that everything comes together and we sign Donny van der Beek, I think it's got to be seen as an elite level pickup. It has to be because of what he brings. I think he ticks all of the boxes that Solskjaer wants in that midfield, and can cover a lot of different positions for him in that midfield as well. So in the event that we somehow wouldn't be able to land Sancho this summer, but we would end up being able to kind of thicken out the team in other areas with some real quality, that would have to be seen as a successful summer in my eyes.
Absolutely, bro. I think you're so right in that. And like I'll point out again, this is a little bit of proof in the pudding, how you'll be able to tell the fake Man United fans, the twerkers, when they'll turn this Van der Beek deal into a negative. Why are you gassing over a bench player? Where's he going to play? Who's going to fall out of the team? Why don't we go after this guy? Oh, we're signing him. We're meant to spend 120 million on a player. We're now going to spend 35 million. The Glazers are being cheap. All those people are fake Man United fans. They're the same people that 4 days ago were saying we're trash. We're not going to sign anybody. This is where you see the fake Reds rear their heads. This is where you see them when we do bits of business like this. This is exactly what we need, and we may not need to spend 200 million this summer. If we get Sancho, it's going to be big money. There is no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, you bring him in for 35 mil. Maybe you bring in a Grealish for 45 mil, something along those lines. As an example, you bring Sancho in. And I'm already seeing Arsenal fans tweet me saying, why do you even need this guy? Where is he going to play? Like,
oh, my goodness. I didn't even realize we were already at the here we go stage. Are you kidding me? When I said that things were going to ramp up, I didn't realize it was going to be that quick. Sorry, I've been out with people. And look, COVID, I know, but I ain't staying inside all day. So I just now saw it. He's coming. That's huge. That's huge. Hey, ZH who, Burner who, Thiago Silva who, Van der Beek is here. He's here. He's here.
Let's go, Brian. And you know what's also nice about it? It's another non-British player, so that they're like this time last year, whacked out all those fake. Oh, what is that noise? Ooh, I'm getting some hella noise from someone. Someone turned the Hoover on. It's gone now. What that was. Like, remember this time last year? It was Brexit FC. Meh. Listen, man, you guys were suckered in by the fake Reds that were spreading all that fake news about our football club. And yeah, United are back, man. Like, we're going to be back over the course of the next couple of years. We're on the way to being back, is what I'm saying. And this is just one. This is one player who I think is just another piece of that jigsaw. We still need more. And I still want more. But as a player, Van der Beek is great. Plays multiple. People saying, where's he going to play? His position. He's a midfield.
Position. Yeah, he's just gonna. He really is like a midfield Swiss Army knife, and he brings real quality to that team. So I'm really excited to see what I had no clue.
Yeah, Brian found out live on air. Found out live on air.
I was just like, let me just. I mean, I actually accepted without needing to go. And here's the thing, too. Another thing you'll see is like, according to Fabrizio Romano, they said Ajax accepted the deal without even negotiating. So there will be people trying to angle for you overpaid. So of course they accept it without negotiating angle. Like there will be people who try to do that, even though they asked for 40 million, and we gave it.
It's
to
not
them,
about
so.
how much you spend.
It's a great price. That's a great price for someone of his age. That is a very good price.
Yeah, for his age and for his quality, that's a huge pickup. He's 22.
How old is he?
23.
Okay.
23. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is a great age.
He's
Why are people calling him a bench player? How do we know he's not going to be a missing piece to a puzzle? Like we just comment on what we see. Do you know what I mean?
It depends.
If we knew we'd be making more money, we'd all be making more money. We'd be manager of Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is right now is how do we know?
Yeah.
Go back five seasons ago. Would you have put Jordan Henderson as a league-winning captain? Because I wouldn't.
No Liverpool fan.
Do you know what I'm trying to say, though? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's true. 5 years ago.
No, he's world class.
What it comes down to is quite simple. People remember all the rivals. You're not going to sign anyone. There's no pulling power. You're not getting him. I'm going to obviously do it once the stream's done and go and find all the people that sort of said you're not going to. From like 4 months ago when we linked to Van Beek, he ain't going to choose you over Real Madrid.
That was like, that was a like 40. That was 48 hours of conversations between the clubs from being interested to deal done. I mean, so
I think it's less than that. Like honestly,
you might be right. I mean,
it was about 24, between 24 and 26 hours from it coming out, and it was that journalist who said, obviously the In the Know account tweeted first, and then you had that guy that's connected, Mark Overmars, his friend, who said he's decided to be an Arsenal, and that was last night, and that's because the deal was kept very, very quiet until that point, and there's no way that the conversations with Ajax started just yesterday. I think it's been going on for a while. I've been getting their ducks in a row, working out, and this is something that I saw yesterday from another credible journalist that I respect, who said that he thinks that the deal for Sancho has been concluded in some way, in a positive way. That's why United have now moved on to their other targets, because they know that's going to happen once Dortmund find their replacement, so they can now kind of actively do. And I think we'll start a little bit of a domino effect now. I think that when you said things will ramp up, Brian, I thought you meant we'll get another signing pretty soon. I think you might see 2 or 3 signings for United in the space of a couple of weeks now, get our business done, and then we go on, we roll on to winning that league.
Yeah, United has always and United has always been really big on trying to get all their deals in prior to preseason, and over the past few seasons they really haven't been able to get that done in some instances. But I know, and so I mean, I was shocked at how quickly everything's went with Van der Beek, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. I don't want another like month and a half of silence before something big like this. I want United to ramp it up from here. Again, like it's one of those things. Like I was quite envious of Chelsea for a little while with how quickly they did deals and big deals. And were plugging gaps that they needed plugged. Like Lampard was not wasting any time, and you just started to get the sense. Again, I was calm about it, but again, since Chelsea is like a rival club of my favorite one, I'm sitting there and I'm like, why? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, let me just cut you off. I'm gonna leave because Aaron wants to join in. So, and the studio's full, so I'm gonna leave so Aaron can jump on. Yeah.
All right,
salute to Ali, man.
My guy, thank you. Take care, my bro. Thank you. Someone called Cherry wants to join as well. We'll try and keep the back end of this clear as well as best we can.
Actually, I might go ahead and step out as well. Want to come in and chat for a little bit.
No, you're cool to stay for a bit, bro. You're cool to stay for a bit. Aryan, sorry. You had something you were going to ask before I cut you off.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you guys think about Fred going to Galatasaray for around 40 million, and then we get Thiago in his place? What do you guys think about that?
Send him. I'll freaking pay for his ticket myself. Go.
Where did Castro paying 40 mil from?
Bro, if Man United can get Thiago for 25, 30 mil and Fred goes for 40, I'll drive him to Turkey, bro. I am. Thank you for asking that question, bro, and coming back. I appreciate it. My guy, Aaron, host of that United show, on holiday right now, somewhere between France and Belgium. Van, I rung you before even Fabrizio put this news out, did I not? And tell you it was done today.
You did. And listen, I can only say I'm happy we got this done. I'm surprised we got it done so quickly because I have to hold my hands up and say I was one of those people who was complaining that we were getting things too slow and nothing's happening. And all of a sudden, we get linked with Van der Beek one day, the next day, the deal is done. What more can you say? So I'm happy. I've listened to what you had to say about, the whole bench thing. And listen, I've always said a good first 11 is good, but a good bench is better because when the players get tired, you will have fatigue, you will have yellow cards, you will have red cards, injuries, and you need people that can jump in and do a job. And in this case, it's more than just doing a job. I mean, Van der Beek is quality. We've seen what he's done with Ajax in the Champions League. And one thing that I keep telling you, Terry, as well, like, one thing I love about this guy, he's a midfielder, but he's got the striker's instinct. Like, when he finishes, you look at some of his finishes, those are striker's finishes. And if we can get someone in that team and give him balls into the box and feed him, so to say, because he's not really a striker, he can do great things, man. So all in all, I'm happy with it. I can't wait for more signings. And I tweeted it earlier. I said we finally got our first here we go. So I'm happy about it.
I'm tired of seeing other teams get here we goes. I was getting jealous.
I got three here we goes in 3 days.
Yeah, we know, David. Okay.
Yo, listen. Chelsea been getting here we goes for like a week now, and I was like, when is ours coming? So we got our first one now. That's good.
And do you know what? What I liked about ours, I love how it's come so quickly out of almost complete obscurity. I think it's great on so many levels to have it done in that way. But what I will say about you, Aaron, where I find you're different, you're not like these United allies and a lot of these twerkers out there, bro. You were annoyed and frustrated based on things in the past, but I know with you, when you see a difference and you see a change, and this being done so quickly, so quietly, and also £5 million below market price. Yeah, these are the kind of deals where you go, okay, you know what? All these little things are just building blocks of evidence to say we're never going to be fully Glazer in because we know they take too much at the club. But at least you can come to a happy medium and say, well, we're trying to be successful again at the very least. And I know that you'll recognize that. And I swear it was Saeed the other day that spoke about why aren't we going for Van der Beek? And a lot of people are like, well, maybe he doesn't want to come to us as an example. And it shows that Van der Beek's a player that the majority of Man United fans are interested in having. So my message to them would be, don't now get shook by a Gooner or a Chelsea fan or a Liverpool fan saying, but he's just a bench player though. What about Santa? That's what they're going to pull on. It's like, cool, that shows the salt and let them do it.
Dutch Barkley's already started.
Everybody is praised Van der Beek.
Wow. No.
Wow.
The Dutch Barkley.
I don't think he is, but honestly, I've seen it so much now.
That's awesome.
He's the most overrated English midfielder I think I've ever seen. Ross Barkley. I just don't. I personally just don't rate him at all.
I remember, some of you man are probably too young. So when he broke on the scene, I remember in 2010, there was all this. He'll be better than. Maybe a bit later than that. Maybe 2012. It was like he's already better than Rooney.
Yeah.
That was being pushed by Talk Sport and all manner of media outlets around. Oh, he's doing this, does that. You're like. Top. Imagine that.
But Walcott was the new Henry.
Thank you, Chloe, for the super chat. Galatasaray only want Fred on loan, is what she has read. Yeah, there's no way you're loaning a £50 million player out. You either sell him or you keep him, I think.
However,
Yo, guys,
when it comes to the English media, though, you guys do that a lot.
1 second. Aaron, thank you very much for coming on, bro. We'll chat to you again soon, my man.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy your holiday. Speak to you soon. Top man. What are you saying, Prime?
When it comes to the English media and players that break through, you guys do that a lot. To be fair.
Big club.
Yeah, it's not so much.
No. I'm talking about England in general, not Man United.
That's again. It's like the transfer. It's if you're part of the English press and English media service and TV broadcaster, and you don't big up the English players, you're missing a trick in terms of attracting people to watch the shows. You have to do it because most people watching have a mutual interest in those individuals.
It's not big. No, my point was the overhype of it.
But my point is you overhype these English players because remember, there are millions of people watching Match of the Day that don't even support Premier League teams. So they care about who's the next big England player coming through because they care about the national team. So when you hype up Barkley, you make, I'm going to watch Match of the Day later, or I'm going to watch the live game of Everton when he was there because Barkley's playing. He's the next Rooney. He's the next Gaza. That's why they do it. They want everyone to watch their TV shows. It's all. So when people get upset by it, why do you only hype the English players? Well, the English shows hype them so that the English fans tune in and watch them, bruv. It's quite bloody obvious. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what? Do you know who the Dutch media are talking about right now? Do you think they're talking about Van der Beek, or do you think they're talking about Thiago Silva and Chelsea? Because they've got and it will become massive now because Van der Beek's going to be playing for the biggest club in the world. So watch their shows now focus on Van der Beek more than maybe they did this year because he's now there. You know, it just is how it is, and they'll draw it that way. Ches has joined us again today. What are you saying, Ches?
I'm good, man. I'm a bit annoyed you guys got your first. Here we go. I didn't think this was gonna happen, but it finally happened.
What's going on
Yes,
with the
monster.
sunglasses? What is going on?
Boys, just before someone says this wasn't me that planned all this. It's not my idea.
Yeah, I can't see something like Monster being directed by you, to be honest. Sorry.
Ches, fair. You killed me. Fair.
How good a show? How good a player do you think is going to now Manchester United?
I think he'll do bits. I think he'll be an upgrade to Fred. I just think Fred, he just didn't hit the ground running with Man United, and I think that Van der Beek with his quality will just outshine him very quickly. That's what I believe. I think the quality will come through quicker than it did with Fred. I just don't think Fred is a star for Man United, in my opinion. I think he's a bench player for me. But maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Van der Beek could push him. So you never know.
Monstar, what are you making of this, bro? We haven't really spoke much on this the last few days, but it's official. It's gone from 0 to 100 in 24 hours. He's a Man United player, one of the best midfielders in the league, one of the best in the world. What are you saying?
First of all, as usual, pray for the rivals. Number two, Prime, you know what I mean? You gotta be a bit more firm. And David, we're not taking second, we're going first. Do you know what I mean? Now, as for
Well, you think I haven't spoke much, Monster? I'm just letting them enjoy their moment.
Hold on. As for Van der Beek, I'm not scared. Like I said, I want Man United to sign Van der Beek, Sancho, Partey. I want them to sign Upamecano. In fact, give them Messi, Ronaldo. We are still winning that league. I'm not scared at all. I am not scared. Do you know what I mean? I want every team to sign everyone they want, so there's no excuses. Do you know what I mean? I want this season to be a great competitive season. Do you know what I mean? I'm not scared one bit. I'm not scared.
I hear that.
And you know what? That's it. I hear you. Like, don't be scared, but at the same time, you're not playing down the quality of the United team, and that's where the banter can go full reversal. If you Chelsea man on this show all year tell us how bad we are, and then we finish in front of you, that's even more embarrassing for Chelsea. If you tell us how great we are and we finish in front of you, you're like, well, I told you we're great. That's why I do it. That's why I overpraise my rivals now rather than slag them off, because it gets me a get out of jail free card if they finish above me. I told you we're better than us anyway. What are you saying? If it goes wrong, it's more banter. You know, it's literally, I play poker the whole time. I just play poker the whole way through this. Obviously, Monstars put it out there and been like, we are winning this league. So there's nowhere to go other than winning the league. For Monstars. Yeah.
I believe him, I think. And also, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I see people on Twitter and that saying he's a dead baller. You're lying. I saw him against Chelsea last season. He was a real baller. Probably their Ajax's fourth best player after Ziyech. What's his name? De Jong and what's the defender's name? De Ligt. He was their fourth best player. So he's a quality player. He's probably, not far off being a world-class player. So us saying that he's rubbish or blah blah, come on, that's a lie. It's a lie, man. He's a good player.
It is. And I think, what I was thinking about Monstars, I think Monstars practicing his look for going out once Chelsea. How do I not get recognized? This is what I got. Indiana, you're gonna say something, bro?
Yeah, I think he's probably Van der Beek's probably very underrated a bit like Thomas Muller for me. It's the work he does off the ball. It's the simple things, and that's what changes it. And for me, it's not how he performs on a pitch. It's how he brings that standard up in training. That on the training ground, it's going to be a different standard to Fred. And the biggest difference is that he can finish. I don't know how many shots this season Fred's put over the bar, but I think he's in the wrong game for one. He should be playing rugby the way that ball goes over the top. But Van der Beek is just another level. and that's what helps us build.
I don't think you should be overhyping people too much. I can't lie, bro, because you haven't seen him play in the Prem. I always say to Chelsea fans as well. Until they put on the shirt, yeah.
Bro.
You can't be saying man are going to be doing.
No, but I want to challenge you on that. I want to challenge you on that because I am tired of people saying, "Oh, they haven't played in the Prem, so they're not ballers." That's just. I think that's a myth. Now, I think that's now a myth. Do you get what I mean?
I'm not saying. I never said that either. I just said until they put on their shirt and play, then you could judge them as a player. I don't think you should say either or. Like even with Ziyech, like he's a baller. I know he's a baller, but until he plays and balls for us, it could just be a price tag at the end of the day. Same with Van der Beek. Same with Sancho. And it's a fact for everything. If you look at Hazard with 100 M's, done bit to Chelsea, can't even do it at Real Madrid right now.
Yeah, can I say also, what do you guys think the fact that they've got him for 37.5 million instead of Grealish for about 70 or 80 mil?
They're not the same type of player though.
35 points.
They're very different.
That just shows how I think it just shows how kind of overhyped and overpriced the market within the Premiership is in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, and we've talked about it here before, like how so Chilwell goes to Chelsea for significantly less money than Wan-Bissaka went to United, and Harry Maguire went for a lot of money to Manchester United as well. Like I think that's just it's just part and parcel of what it is within the Premiership.
The problem is that there's the quota to fill. And
I think as well that you've got that element of if you need British players, homegrown players, it can play a part because scarcity creates a high valuation in any economy. I think what you also have to factor into these matters sometimes is what Ches said. I think maybe it is and it needs to be reviewed and looked at, but clubs certainly think being Premier League proven makes you more valuable and they push on that. But I also look at the fact that United have picked up Van der Beek so cheaply. These are the things that will set markers and set precedents. You know, I said it last year. Tyrone Mings being signed for £25+ million. It makes it hard to get a top quality centre back for less than 50-60 million because the bar's been set and clubs will use the price of other players. What I have just tweeted out is a quote from Fabrizio Romano. So Edwin van der Sar was reportedly very, very helpful in the process of getting the deal sorted out so fast between Ajax and Man United. They've got a very good relationship. So it very much feels like, and that's why you got to do it. That's about relationship building, and that's why I think you saw Ollie see. And this is how the media spin it. The media
Ollie
will
and
spin
Van der Sar copying Czech and Lampard.
And that's exactly why N'Golo Kanté is going to come Chelsea next year.
Well, what I'm saying is though, but they're at the same club. It's different. These two are separate clubs. The point I'm making is the media will try and sell it as Woodward and Judge didn't know what they were doing. That Ollie had to step in out of anger. No, Ollie stepped in because he's close friends with Van der Sar, with teammates. It makes sense for them to hold the conversations. You know, it's like you might have, if you've got a friend that works for a separate company you're trying to do business with, if you guys through the official channel, it's a big corporate meeting. The two friends just have a chat and have a beer. It's a conversation that can be had a lot quicker than being done formally. So I think it makes a lot of sense that Van der Sar was involved. Of course, he's going to back and endorse Manchester United as a club to go to. And I think that's another reason why United fans have got to start getting behind this new direction we're going in.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the players we've landed. You know, you've had Maguire reject Man City. Wan-Bissaka turned down the Champions League champions in Tottenham. Bruno Fernandes had the world at his feet and told everybody no, he wants Manchester United. Pogba is about to sign a new deal. Jadon Sancho wants to join Manchester United. Van der Beek could have gone to multiple clubs. He's picked Man United. Do you think these men are playing for a team that have no ambition to want to win the league? Do you think these people are all being advised badly to join Man United? Do you really think all these people are happy to play for what a man is being perceived as, a PE teacher? Hush, man. Like those things don't stack up against the conspiracy theories that the fake Man United fans are trying to push out there. That doesn't mean I'm Glazers in. It doesn't mean I think Woodward is a Don. But equally, I ain't going for this Alex Jones stuff, man. I ain't going for this Alex Jones conspiracy theory nonsense. It doesn't make sense in the cold light of day. Boys, I appreciate you all coming on. This has been nearly a 3-hour stream. I literally said I'm going to stream for 20 minutes, and I've been on now for nearly 3 hours, which is all good. Everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Please smash that like button, hit the share button as well. Everyone who's contributed tonight, appreciate it massively. We'll be back tomorrow morning because what we're going to talk about. Hey, we'll move on to something else then. But Havertz, yes, that's happening soon. Done deal.
It is.
Come on, I'm like, that's my number, my player.
There we go. Everyone, take care. Good night. God bless you all again soon.
Peace.